He's the commissioner of the Big Ten. He's being heavily criticized. These are good people, and they are by no means stupid people. They just didn't get the way this was communicated quite right. To make a decision of this magnitude, that can't be something that isn't communicated clearly to your coaches, your players, and your families.
Greeny, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, and on the ESPN app.
FX on Hulu is now streaming.
It's probably the best idea I've ever had. It's a complete no-brainer.
Including your favorite FX shows like Atlanta, American Horror Story, Fargo, and more. Even exclusive new series, Devs, and Mrs. America. And streaming soon, A Teacher, starring Kate Mara and Nick Robinson. And The Old Man, starring Jeff Bridges.
This is not someone to underestimate.
See why Variety calls FX one of TV's hottest brands. FX on Hulu. Free with every Hulu subscription. Now streaming.
Freddie Coleman.
I don't think he's going to make it in the next couple of minutes.
Ian Fitzsimmons.
I really don't think I'm going to make it through the night. I don't.
Freddie and Fitzsimmons.
Oh, them.
More of a good thing.
He is the king of the reverse jinx.
Tom Brady had a chance to speak, and once again, he shows us he's that everyman for you. And greetings and salutations, brothers and sisters. He's Ian Fitzsimmons.
Cam Atkinson, just hit the post!
I'm Freddie Coleman. We are
Freddie and Fitzsimmons. Weekdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is the Max Kellerman Show. Max Kellerman Show on ESPN Radio.
The Max Kellerman Show on ESPN Radio, ESPN News, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80, and on your smart speaker, presented by Progressive Insurance. All guests appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line.
Hey everyone, this is Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show, you missed this.
The Jags have 2 opt-outs. How big are these losses in your opinion?
Laurenti McCray is different to me. This is a guy who's going on his 7th season here in the NFL. If you have the honor to wear the C in that locker room, it means that you're a leader. You have some sort of influence on that team.
Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Well, and you know where I stand on this, and I've been very adamant about this. I'm not going to be surprised whether it's in the NFL or college where teams are going to try to, maybe kind of sway the rules a little bit just to get that competitive edge. There's nothing more competitive than a football season, whether it's college or the NFL.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them, ESPN690.com. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting, that's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them, ESPN690.com.
Hey everybody, this is Brett Martineau. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home or just steering clear of coworkers, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690. Hey everyone, this is Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show, you missed this.
The Jags have 2 opt-outs. How big are these losses in your opinion?
Laurenti McCray is different to me. This is a guy who's going on his 7th season here in the NFL. If you have the honor to wear the C in that locker room, it means that you're a leader. You have some sort of influence on that team.
Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
What up, everybody? Happy Monday to you all. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I know I sure did. Caught a little Jaguars practice on Sunday. Had some thoughts. Brent Martin was at Jaguars practice today. We'll get some of his observations later on. We got audio from Doug Marrone, audio from Keelan Chaisson, rookie Jaguars edge rusher, if you will. So we'll get some audio from him as well. Start talking about a little more of the NBA bubble. Luka Dončić, is he the real deal going forward? Is he going to be the MVP for years and years and years to come? Is he already better than Larry Bird? We'll get Brent Martineau's thoughts on that. Can't wait to talk about that one. We got a whole bunch on tap today.
Get a hold of
for
yourself.
you all. Get a hold of yourself, sir. How we doing?
Doing good. Doing good. A lot of good stuff happening. I like it. Quiet day out of Jags camp today. Not too much happening. You were there yesterday.
I was.
I got kicked out yesterday.
Oh, what happened?
I thought I registered for practice yesterday. I thought I registered for all of them except for like one of the early ones, 6 days in a row.
Okay.
And it turns out I didn't. So I couldn't go. That was okay. I was only going to spend like 15 minutes because
Can that be our new claim though? Like ESPN 690, we got kicked out of practice.
We got kicked out. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, we've been kicked out of the stadium before, Coos, so
there we
why
go.
not? Yeah.
Kicked out
We're
everywhere.
like Rebel Radio over here.
Yeah. That's right. We kind of proclaim ourselves to be. But anyway, it was all right. I had a little tryout across the street. Not me, but Ty. So,
cool.
Down at the baseball ground, so that didn't matter anyway. Camera all messed up,
What's up,
Coos?
man? Is the camera not on?
Messing with our stuff.
Yeah,
Who
someone's
comes
messing
in here
with our
during
stuff.
the weekend? I hope they spray it down.
You tell me, man, because I had some headphone issues over here, but thankfully
You got headphone issues every day.
Yeah, but let's just say it was escalated a little bit.
By the way, I reached out to
who's doing podcasts in here?
Super Evan.
Yeah,
because I was so impressed with his speaker.
Sure.
And when he came on the show the other day, his gaming stuff.
Okay.
So those are Astro A40s.
Astro
How
A40s.
much did you say they cost?
I looked it up. I think I saw it was like $250.
We should get you guys those for when you're on the road, though.
Well,
Then
I
you
know,
just call us.
but can you plug the same type of things into what we use on the? I seriously was thinking
that's
of
what I'm
buying
saying.
it.
Just Google Skype me, and we would just do it that way.
Oh, instead of doing, yeah. I mean, it did sound good, didn't it?
Yeah.
That sound fantastic.
You need a pair of headphones.
I'm all right, man.
I might
actually
just buy you some.
No, I'm good, man. I just ordered like a new replacement ear thing, like ear cup. So
You did?
Yeah, so those will be here tomorrow. So then I'll just adjust it from there. We're all good.
Wow, you're piecing this thing together.
Piecing it together,
Do
man.
we have
I'm getting my
ESPN
money's
690
worth.
tools? Do we have a toolbox in here?
We should. I need like.
Only tools I need are right here, my friends.
Can we get like the camera on you, Brent? Also, this is a little radio thing. It's not white balanced right now, so it's very yellow.
That's a TV thing. So it's very yellow. What's going on in here? What do people do?
I'm not necessarily sure how to fix that one either because it's like a.
It is. It's got a little hue
Oh,
to
wow.
it.
It looks like you're playing for the Cleveland Browns back in the 1940s right now.
It does have. That's just my tan, people.
Yeah. That's weird.
That is kind of odd. Somebody knocked it out. What is going on around here?
Just when we think we got a good show, all this stuff starts happening.
Who got in this building?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Who got in here?
Who is podcasting on our stuff? That's what I want to know. And let me listen to
What else is happening? By the way, see what's happening on my Twitter?
No.
CJ Henderson against Keelan Cole. You didn't see that?
Oh, no, I saw that. Yeah.
So CJ Henderson was frustrated today.
Yeah.
And got beat by Cole. I'm like, oh, so what? You win some, you lose some. I mean,
let's relax a little bit.
That's kind of the nature of it, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Keelan Cole looked good, but they're like quick passes. He gave him a move, whatever. I mean, first of all, the people that are jumping in on here, oh, he's terrible. It's 2 plays.
Sure.
Hadn't been in practice for like 4 days because he was sick. So whatever, right? I mean, that happens. But, well, then Jimmy Smith jumped in on the conversation.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet.
Because what happened was, if you haven't seen the video, and you can see it on my Twitter feed, but I mean, it's just 2 simple plays down here at the goal line, and Keelan Cole gets the better at CJ Henderson. But on the second one, CJ Henderson pops him, like in the end zone. Like, you're really not supposed to. It's not live. But you could tell he did it like out of frustration.
Absolutely.
And then Keelan Cole got up as the veteran guy. He's like, hey, no problem, man. It's all right. Kind of gives him 5.
Classy, by the way.
Very classy.
There's some wide receivers who,
Well, very classy. And so, but CJ doesn't respond, does not give him 5.
Sure.
Walking away. Won't even look at him.
Yeah.
And so Keelan just walks away. Well, Jimmy Smith jumped in on it, and he said, he actually put it on Keelan. He's like, don't go over there and give him 5. Get up there and get in his face.
Yeah.
Grab a face mask. Do something.
Sure.
He's like, he ain't doing that to me.
Yeah.
No DB's doing that to me in practice or anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. Just the back and forth. Because I even asked Jimmy, I'm like, well, what is he supposed to do? Go wrestle him?
Go wrestle him?
I mean,
go punch him in the face?
So the question is, it's a little frustration. Are we seeing a little sign of immaturity a bit from CJ Henderson, even in that moment? What we've seen a little bit on Twitter, whatever that was last week.
Yeah.
Keelan Cole, should he have kind of been the aggressor going back? Be like, don't let a rookie do that to you, man. You've been in the league 4 or 5 years now. What's supposed to happen? What's the code of conduct? What's the unwritten rule?
I'm not going to tell anybody how to act on the field in terms of their behavior and their personality. All right? Like, to me, Keelan Cole got the touchdown. You just scored on the defense. You won. Now, whatever happened after that happens after that. If you don't want to go after them, then don't go after them, okay? But if that's who you are, then by all means do it. Like, yeah, I know people are saying, well, I want to see Keelan Cole have that dog, and I want him to, stand up for himself. Guy scored a touchdown, all right? Guy scored a touchdown. Guy won the drill. What more do you want from him? So, like, I'm not taken back by the fact that Keelan Cole didn't go after CJ Henderson after he got kind of cheap shot a little bit. Now, yes, I would have done that. I would have went up to him and probably put my hand in his face mask and then shook around a little bit. I got to fight with Montel Owens because Montel Owens looked at me wrong, okay, in special teams drills. Montel Owens, Brent, the nicest guy you're ever going to meet, the most professional guy you're ever going to meet. And I went after him because he looked at me wrong, okay? So, like, there's different kind of personalities. There's different, types of people out there. The wide receivers, man, they're a little different. It's an ego-driven position. Some guys got that short fuse. Some guys, it's all about the highlights. Whatever it is, Keelan Cole caught the touchdown. I'm not going to fault him for not going after CJ Henderson after that. But CJ Henderson, and listen, I understand he's working his way back in right now, and maybe he's got his head in the proverbial beehive. Okay, it's all good right now. But if I had one piece of advice to give CJ Henderson after all that I've been reading from his Twitter and everything like that, you need to get more than 2 hours of sleep. Okay, because he was saying how he only gets like 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night. Listen, man, I'm not going to tell you how to play the cornerback position. I never played it. I'm not going to tell you how to act as a professional because you're a first-round pick. Props to you for doing that, okay? So you've accomplished a lot in your life. But I'm just going to throw it out there, all right? And this isn't me talking. This is the medical experts, let's just say. You need more than 2 hours of sleep. Hopefully he's getting that. Hopefully he was lying on Twitter. But if he's not, more than 2 hours of sleep, please. I can't reiterate this enough, Brett.
Well, so here's, by the way, going back on what Jimmy Smith, he responded about the Keelan Cole. Now I got to be able to find it. I have so many mentions. This is one of those things where it's got so many mentions now.
Flex.
By the way, I just want to make it clear. I did not antagonize this. Like, I was actually, hey, he's been out of practice, came back. Obviously looks frustrated. That's all I said. I did not try to fan this flame at all. But then it's got so many mentions in here.
Brent's getting blocked for sure.
Yeah, I'm on my way to another cornerback blocking. But Jimmy said, Keelan Cole, ! How you let a rookie DB dog you like that? Ain't no way. So then I said, what should he have done?
Yeah.
And Jimmy responded along the way. I know I can't find it either. But he said, let's see where he says it. He's anticipate the big dog bringing the wood on him. I would assume BD is big dog. Yeah.
No. Well, it could be big dog, but it could be BD.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be.
Just saying. I don't know.
It's BD. I've never seen BD.
I've never seen BD
shortened.
Either. Yeah.
So I guess you can interpret what you want it to be.
It could be either one.
I could. Anticipate the BD, bring the wood on him. Don't just take a blow like that. Now the DB has confidence in, we'll do this every time. You've never seen a DB do this to me. So that's kind of what he said about it. And here's my question.
How big is Keelan Cole again?
Keelan Cole, tall-wise, but yeah, he's not super big.
How much does Keelan Cole weigh? Let's figure that out right now.
Probably not much.
194 pounds.
Yeah. And he actually looks like he's a little bigger. Got a little thicker.
It says he's 6'1", 194.
That's about right.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad matchup with CJ Henderson. What's CJ Henderson?
No. We can look it up.
6'1", 205?
I'll check that out quick.
210 maybe?
6 feet. 205.
Yeah. All right. That's not a bad matchup.
About the same.
So what's interesting to me is, okay, some receivers would have done that, would have gone back at him.
Sure.
Other players would have gone back at him. That's part of camp. That's part of competing. That's no different you'd see, in my opinion, on a basketball court, on a football field if you're playing pickup flag football.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happens, right? But then I was also, I kind of asked myself, would Larry Fitzgerald have gone after a rookie in that spot? I don't know. He might have. I haven't seen Larry Fitzgerald practice and stuff, but I mean, he might have, but he might not have.
I don't think anybody would have laid out Larry Fitzgerald though like that. Well, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I don't think CJ Henderson said, "Hey, it's Keelan Cole. I'm going to lay him out." If it was DJ Chark, I wouldn't.
Listen, I'm going to compare it to this. My last year in Chicago at training camp, I wasn't really a part of it, but I was in the skirmish of one of the most celebrated fights that you see all over online. That was the fight between Martellus Bennett and Kyle Fuller. Okay, now Kyle Fuller was a rookie cornerback. Martellus Bennett, Pro Bowl tight end, one of the leaders of that team. We're doing red zone offense and defense. Martellus Bennett catches a ball towards the end zone. Kyle Fuller, and keep in mind, it was supposed to be like, thud period. Well, Kyle Fuller, a rookie, mind you, absolutely tries to deplete him. Okay. Martellus Bennett obviously has a little more size, a little more weight on Kyle Fuller. So Bennett gets hit, falls down, stands back up, obviously took it as a sign of disrespect, and goes after Fuller. Now, when I say he went after Fuller, I'm talking about eyes red with rage, ready to kill this dude. Okay. And he grabbed Fuller by the face mask and literally spiked him on top of his head, to the point where he was thrown out of practice, actually suspended for the entirety left of training camp. He came back week 1. Okay, so that was an example right there of, and keep in mind, tight end and wide receiver a little different, but Martellus Bennett thinking, listen, this rookie's not going to come in here and show me what's up. And I'll never forget this. So as Martellus Bennett was thrown out of practice, Brandon Marshall, a pretty good receiver, veteran in the NFL, respected around the NFL, goes up to Martellus Bennett and goes, "What are you doing? We need that guy. That's our first round pick right there. And you're going to slam him on his neck? What are you thinking?" And Martellus Bennett goes, "I'm not going to let a rookie punk me." All right, so it's as simple as that. That was Martellus Bennett's philosophy. That was his thinking, okay? So getting back to Keelan Cole, listen, maybe Keelan Cole's not like that, but I know plenty of guys at the receiver position that are. It's all about the personality mindset.
Okay, so here's my question to you, because you've seen this before. What happens now that they go in? They go back and look at, now it's a little different atmosphere now. They're not all together. They're in position groups. They're not really eating all together. This is a totally different world. So, I mean, we've heard stories before when Dante and Jan and whoever got into it on the field, and we saw it last year, that carried into the locker room. And you've heard a bunch of different stories about things carrying into the locker room. My point being, would this carry inside Jags headquarters, even after, maybe Cole just didn't realize it all in the same moment, but then was after it bothers him more? Could there be something in an underbelly of that goes on much after we don't see it?
So keep this in mind. That year for the Bears was a very underachieving season for them, okay? And I'm not going to say it's because Martellus Bennett got thrown out of training camp and suspended because he spiked Kyle Fuller. But I'm here to say that had something to do with it. Because after that incident, when you got back to the locker room, there were two schools of thought, okay? There was the old school Jimmy Smith thought that thought, you know what? Good for him, man. We have to be a bunch of tough you-know-what, because this is football, okay? Stand up for yourself. Don't let a rookie punk you. Then there was the other side where it's man, Kyle Fuller could be a special player. What is he doing trying to, go out and actually intentionally hurt Kyle Fuller? So there was the younger guys that kind of had their discrepancies a little bit. So there was a rift between the older veterans and the younger guys. This is where the head coach comes into play and intervenes, right? Because, yes, as a head coach, you want to let the locker room monitor themselves. But some situations, you're not going to win that battle. Some situations where it's just black and white, and it's old versus young, you got to intervene a little bit. So this, to me, falls on Doug Marrone. This falls on the position coaches to set the precedent right now and say, listen, what happens not going to happen again. You guys shake hands and you show that, you know what, this is a one-time thing and we're done. You have to do that, because if you don't, there's going to be a rift all season, mark my words.
Well, the beauty about Jimmy commenting on this is Keenan feels probably the same way.
Of course.
And Keenan likes to preach toughness as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Keenan got all over Keelan on that quietly for not responding in some level. Not spiking a guy and hurting a guy, but at least get in the face a little bit and bounce back at him, clap back at him.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
So it's interesting. It was a wild thing. And it's really, I get so surprised on social media. This is just a part of camp to me. To me, it's not a big deal. But then it's interesting to see Jimmy come back on it, and then the conversation that has since taken place, and whether it's about CJ Henderson struggling or not. I don't think it's 2 plays. He'd been missing 4 He had actually been playing very well prior to getting sick. So this isn't about, oh, boy, draft bust, all this stuff. But that's kind of the feedback you get on social media. Interesting thing that happened today. Outside of that, a pretty quiet day, a big maintenance day. Did have a scrimmage over the weekend. Some thoughts from that. You were out at practice yesterday. More tutorial videos. I like them. We also had a big discussion over the weekend because we showed that Pittsburgh Jags game. Got to thinking, 2017 offense versus the 2020 Jags offense. Which one would you rather have? We'll have a little bit of that discussion and a whole lot more. Doug Marrone has a lot of nice things to say about his football team. Even admits they kind of admitted they're void of some talent. You'd like more talent, but he loves the way they work. Loves the maturity about them, even for a bunch of young guys. And essentially said he hadn't seen a rookie class like this in terms of the way they handle business going all the way back to 2006 and the New Orleans Saints. That's pretty complimentary. High praise from Doug Marrone. And some of that praise is heaped on Keelan Chaisson, looking good out at practice in his first few days back. We got a lot to talk about in terms of Jags, the NFL. There's some reversals of sorts on how many fans will be in the stands in some stadiums. One coach has a problem with the different rules in place when it comes to fans in stadiums. What's the latest on all of that? It's all on the way. Star 690-904-362-9901. Jump on the conversation on a Monday on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
On and off showers, an isolated thunderstorm today, and very warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sun otherwise. Highs in the upper 80s, dropping into the mid to upper 70s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burridge.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where for a limited time, you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing. I never knew my home would become my workplace. I never dreamed it would be my child's school. And I never imagined my home would be under attack from an invisible enemy called COVID-19. This is why I trust SafeTouch Security. It's one app that puts me in control. My SafeTouch system allows me to control who's on my property, movement while the kids are at home learning their school lessons, who I speak with without even opening the front door, as well as home deliveries, my heating and air conditioning, door locks, and complete protection against the threats of fire, burglary, and assault. You know, you can even have control over your car. Know you are safe with the most up-to-date security system from SafeTouch. SafeTouch Security has been doing what others can't for over 35 years. Reliable local monitoring. No other company comes close to SafeTouch's track record on guaranteed response times. Go to safetouch.com and find out how you can get 0 down and free equipment with a lifetime warranty. That's safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233. You've been waiting for a new ride, right? Just waiting for the right sale. Well, the time has come because every quality pre-owned car, truck, SUV, and van has been marked way down for you to drive it home today when you buy from Arlington Toyota. You got to check out Arlington with over 750 new and quality pre-owned on the lot every day, just waiting for you to drive home. Domestics, luxury vehicles, imports, and Toyota certified pre-owned. It's all priced low and ready to go at Arlington Toyota. If you're worried about your credit, well, don't be, because with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon scores from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And when it comes to total peace of mind, Arlington's got you covered with their 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. So what are you waiting for? All pre-owned is on sale now at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Celebrate your love with end-of-summer savings now at Beards Diamonds.
Right now at Beards, take advantage of 5 years, 0 interest financing.
Yes, 5 years, 0 interest financing with 0 down.
How about a $6,000 Tacori or Veragio ring? You pay just $100 a month.
Or a pair of diamond studs for $1,500, you pay just $25 a month.
But it's only for a limited time and only at Beards Diamonds.
Located at the St. John's Town Center.
Florida children are eligible for head-to-toe coverage through the Florida Kid Care Program, which is high-quality, affordable health and dental coverage with cost as low as $15 a month. To assist families applying for Florida Kid Care or Medicaid and increase enrollment in the Florida Kid Care Program, the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital offers free application assistance. For appointments, call 904-202-WELL. That's 904-202-9355. Habla Español.
If you have a specific medical problem, you call a specialist. Broken leg? Call an orthopedist. Cataracts? Call an ophthalmologist. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our doctors specialize in ED and PE. Listen to Dr. Rubinski, a renowned expert in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain or surgery. In fact, you'll see results in the office guaranteed or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting for 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, treatments are affordable.
Men. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Prime Men's Medical Center for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians. Call 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105.
Let's take a minute and talk about your health, your good health. We can't take it for granted, and CGC Water would like to help. It's important to have clean, purified water in your home for your good health. CGC offers no contact sales and service appointments, and they've taken all the necessary precautions while in your home. Kinetico systems from CGC Water remove up to 99% of the contaminants. Now that's taking care of your health. This month, get 50% off a K5 reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. No more filling the landfills with plastic from expensive bottled water. Instead, fill up on cleaner, safer water from CGC Water. We love it at our house. You can have it at your house. Get the peace of mind knowing your family is drinking great tasting, purified, safe water. Kinetico features Premier Softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that are super efficient and use less salt. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer, servicing North Florida and Southeast Georgia.
This following message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and its radio station.
This is Max Mayfield, former director of the National Hurricane Center. This hurricane season, you need to update your family preparedness plan so it includes COVID-19 preparations. So when a storm threatens, be ready to prepare your home and have your family hurricane kit ready. Include supplies for your pets and enough COVID-19 sanitizers, disinfectant wipes, and masks. Know your zone, know your home. For more information, go to floridastorms.org.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st. At Diamonds Direct. On approved credit. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Is your business losing sales from the current pandemic? Are you trying to remain in touch with important clients? If you're struggling with questions like this, you're not alone. Many small businesses are currently in a severe crisis and need immediate assistance. As the nation's premier organization supporting small businesses, SCORE offers webinars on a variety of topics that can help you manage through this crisis. Click on the Take a Workshop tab at jacksonville.score.org and register today.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. The Baltimore Ravens have released 7-time Pro Bowl safety Earl Thomas for conduct detrimental to the team, which happened after a fight with a teammate. Here's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter with more.
Listen, he was a great player when he was out there last year, but I think that there were issues in terms of tardiness. I think there was the issue the other day with the fight on the sideline when he punched his teammate. I think it's essentially potentially a situation where the team felt it's in its best interest to move on from him right now.
In the NBA last night, Boston closed out their series with the 76ers, leaving Joel Embiid to ponder his future with the team. Toronto is on to the next round after keeping Brooklyn in the house. Mavs and the Clippers are 2-2 after Dallas won in OT, and Utah beat Denver by a pair and leads the series 3-1. If you're working from home and you want to listen to ESPN, well, tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. All you got to do is say Amazon Echo, Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy that succulent sports coverage.
Brent Martineau.
Daniel says, we went from hot Cheetos to shampoo, raising the intellectual portion of the show.
Austin Lane.
I'm wearing a sleeveless t-shirt. What more do you want from us, man?
It's Friday.
We never said we're intellectual.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Well, first off, I think that, a lot of us have heard the diagnosis of Coach Rivera for the Washington football team. And I've known Ron for a while. I got to meet him and spent a lot of time with him at, obviously, the coaches' meetings and things of that nature. So, I just know our organization, we're thinking about Ron and his family and team. And, Ron is tough as hell. And he'll, we're hoping for a speedy recovery. And just unfortunate, but, he's got a lot of people behind him, a lot of people pulling for him.
That's Doug Marrone giving his best to Ron Rivera, the new coach of the Washington football team, former coach of the Carolina Panthers. And it was revealed late last week that Ron Rivera has early stages of cancer. They say it's very treatable and caught it early. So good thoughts and prayers and wishes for Ron Rivera, who I don't know, but everybody says just salt of the earth guy, and a lot of respect around the NFL for him. So best to him and his family. A lot going on in Washington. A lot going on. Some controllable, some not controllable. But even if you think of it just on the field now, forget about the nickname, to what happened with Snyder and the allegations, to just now rallying around probably Ron Rivera, but also around Alex Smith and that terrific comeback story.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in Washington.
Did I see that Jack Del Rio is going to be the interim head coach now?
Yeah, that's the other part of that. Yeah. Well, no, he will be if needed. Okay. Rivera's not stepping down. Rivera's coaching.
Yeah.
But if it gets to a situation where he has to step down or he has to do some things procedurally and it causes him to miss time, Del Rio will be the guy in charge.
Which he's had some experience, obviously, stepping in for coaches and helping them out as well.
He has, and obviously his own coaching experience. So really got a good guy in that situation for Jack Del Rio to take over if need be. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos on a Monday. Hope everybody is doing well. You about sick of the rain yet? I sure am. Holy cow!
Oh man! And it's like every 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Do you get to the point though, where you're just like, okay, I'm tired of it now? Although I guess I should watch my mouth because I'd hate to be living in Louisiana this week.
Yeah.
They got two hurricanes coming at them.
Yeah, dead in their sights. I'm not sick of it quite yet. Thankfully, there's been some good basketball on TV, so that's been minding up most of my time. But I'll tell you what, my son might be fed up with it for playing outside. Because so we just got the brand new Giannis Antetokounmpo sneakers, right?
Yes.
Well, obviously, when you put those bad boys on and you got that new sneaker smell, what do you want to do? You want to go outside. You want to get out there, man, and show what you got. Well, it was raining pretty much the entire week, and so unfortunately couldn't do that. So much to my wife's chagrin, he was playing basketball in his room with a softer, smaller ball, but you could hear it bounce off the wall and you can hear him dunking and things like that. So that's what he had to work with. So from a kid's perspective, probably kind of a bummer with all this rain happening right now.
Yeah, no doubt. You can't wear those new sneaks outside and then get them all muddy and dirty.
No, you can't do that.
So, we got to get it gets up. It's like, okay, you need the rain. It's good. Actually bought a little palm tree for the back. I've been wanting one in Jackson. I've been here 12 years. I've wanted a palm tree.
What are you talking about sprinklers for, huh?
But they say, I was going to do it at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, what the heck are we doing? Oh, hey, you know what? We just went shopping around and looking around. And palm tree, just a small thing. One of those little pygmy date, I think is what they call them.
Yep.
And so, all right, I'm getting a palm tree. And then they were like, you probably shouldn't get it until August in the rainy season because you're supposed to basically drown those things for the first 2 months to make them go.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that makes sense. You're going to spend a lot on water. Well, don't have to turn the hose on.
better buy that thing a snorkel, man, because it's been drowning nonstop.
They were right. That was good advice. We just got it like a week and a half ago, and they're probably right. It's like, okay, hard to turn those things on.
For sure,
which is good because like a couple of times we turn it on, we forgot, and 3 hours later it's still going. Yeah. I'm not meant for that stuff, that's for sure.
I'm the same way.
Jags observations from the weekend. They hit a little bit on Saturday. Quick observations from my perspective. I'll tell you what. They are thin at secondary in terms of proven commodities. We're just talking CJ Henderson. They obviously have high hopes for him. Trey Herndon, they have high hopes for him. Did a good job last year. People aren't enamored with it. Like, yeah, whatever. Do it again. Let's see. I get that, and that's what he's going to have to deal with. But the Luke Barku guy who everybody raved about, the undrafted free agent they gave a ton of money to in undrafted free agency, and also Chris Claybrooks, who they drafted in the 7th round, and really is going to be a primary return man, it looks like, at least in the early going. Oh, they flashed a little bit on Saturday in that scrimmage. There wasn't a ton of passing going on, at least when they went live. As I think a lot of first and second down looks. But Timmy Jernigan looked really good. I'm starting to get a feeling Timmy Jernigan, if he can stay healthy, that is going to be an August steal. I mean, I don't want to get carried away with anything practice related. I also don't want to get carried away and say Timmy Jernigan is like this unbelievable player. But he's a really good football player.
Yep.
Like, he's been a good pro when healthy. A big part of the defense. He could really be a big ad for a defensive line that has taken hit after hit after hit, including Taven Bryan going down as well. And that looked worse than it ends up being. It's a bone bruise.
Yeah.
And it could when it first happened, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. I thought it was an ankle or a foot or something.
Sure.
And he obviously knocked knees or something like that, which hurts.
Oh yeah.
And they'll monitor him.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, man, Jernigan, he looked good. He flashed again on Saturday, and he's just a good-looking player.
And what I like about him, too, Brent, is you can tell the intensity's there, right? Like the leadership to be kind of, we talk about that dog, to lead the guys around in the huddle and everything like that. Like, he seems like he could be a vocal leader going forward, and that's great because – listen, a vocal leader is great if you're genuine about it, number one. But number two, that's like what gets the energy up, right? Like, and once again, say what you want about Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey always seemed like he had like a little bit of attitude towards them. When he made a good play, he would bark at somebody, right? And then the players kind of gravitated towards that. That's football. That's defensive football. When you make a big hit, when you make a big play, an interception, a sack, and you celebrate and you let the other team know about it, that can motivate the guys around you. It's contagious, and that's when your defense is really firing on all cylinders. So I like the energy that at least I've seen, on film from that scrimmage that Jernigan's bringing. I guess the biggest question I had for you from that scrimmage, Brent, was how's the physicality? How was the intensity? Because to me, the biggest question in this training camp right now is Doug Marrone doing enough from the way he's setting up practice to see what kind of guys he has? Is he giving them those live game reps, especially at such a young team?
Yeah, I think so. I think we saw it a couple times last week. It was advertised as a scrimmage. I did not. It didn't feel like a scrimmage.
Didn't have that scrimmage feel. Okay.
It didn't. I mean, there wasn't enough reps to make it feel that way. In my opinion, that went live in the period that they did it. It was about, I want to say like a 10 to 12 minutes stretch where they ran plays. And it was good to see. And I think they also went live a couple days earlier, I want to say, if I've got the right practice I'm thinking about, down near the goal line, just for like a couple of plays. So I think they're mixing it in. But you can still tell, in my opinion, that Doug Marrone wants to get to the season healthy. And he's probably rolling the dice a little bit in that sense. But he's as many hits as they've already taken on the defensive front, he's not going to push them into a situation where he puts too much risk out there instead of reward, I would say. And that's a delicate balance for a coach, no doubt about it. But listen, the intensity when it was there. I mean, Raquel Armstead, I thought, ran hard. I thought there were some good plays made from several guys. I mentioned Jernigan. I thought he stood out. But, yeah, I mean, it was football, Yeah. I mean, when they did it, it's just not going to be an extended – it's not going to be 2 hours like that. And I do feel like if you look around the league – now, we're seeing clips here and there. We're not at practices, but it feels like some teams are doing a little bit more of that. To your point, I don't know. I just say it feels that way. Who knows the percentage of it? But I think Doug Marrone's certainly trying to get his guys. And today's another example of it. They had like 18 guys again on that list of maintenance, including Gardner Minshew. Minshew didn't practice. He was out there. I still think you almost have to tie that guy down to not practice. I mean, my guess is because he wasn't on the list initially.
Yeah.
And then he was on the list and then still came out to practice. Mm-hmm. So my guess is like you almost have to talk him into, listen, we want to give you a day.
But how do you feel about that, though, giving a quarterback a rest during training camp? You know, I mean, like, listen, let's be honest here. This is his second year right now. Obviously, he has a lot to improve on. He's shown you some flashes, but, like, this isn't, like, really a Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady situation where you kind of know what you're getting, right? Like, I feel like especially in a new offense, you need as many reps as possible. So does it kind of deter you a little bit, the fact that Gardner Minshew didn't practice today?
Well, not really. Again, because I think you almost do have to tie him down not to practice. I think they're talking him into just taking the day this way. I think it's also you got to be a little careful. And I understand there's a different level of it, but there's a clarification here. It's not necessarily you're off. They're doing work inside that tries to build what you normally would get outside, just in a different setting. I don't know what that exactly means. My guess is a little more sitting out there in the heat and practicing is a little bit more than what you're doing inside. But they're getting work in, I guess. So it's satisfying enough. And here's where I fall on that. There is so much study that goes into the medical side of it, the training side of it, the strength and conditioning side of it. I think they're just following the advice, you know? I think they're following the science, if you will, of here's the best way to keep these guys ready to go. And that's at least my interpretation of it. Doug Marrone, very complimentary of the rookies in terms of their IQ, their maturity, which is interesting because it showed maybe a little sign of immaturity on CJ Henderson today with that video I shared. But overall, this is a class that he, again, raves about. He said since 2006, this might be the best class that he's seen in terms of just how relaxed they are around coaching staff inside the building. There's not like a fear factor to them. This ramp-up period has been good because they seem to be absorbing everything. They're smart. They kind of go about their business. I think it's crystal clear the Jaguars pivoted away from the brash Jalen Ramsey, Dante Fowler show guys, even those super athlete guys, to a more business-like, we need more Paul Posluszny's in our locker room than we do Jalen Ramsey's and Dante Fowler's.
Sure.
If you get what I'm saying, from a personality standpoint. Now, what you'd say is, Brent, I want more Jalen Ramsey's rather than even Paul Posluszny, who's a good player, but I'll take the talent. And that's the balance.
It's a good combination of both.
It's a delicate balance, but you just saw a delicate balance over the weekend with Earl Thomas, and they said, see you later. We ain't dealing with that stuff. So the Jags are so sick and tired of dealing with that the last 3 years that they have extremely pivoted. And what will be an interesting study in hindsight is, did they pivot too much? Because much like Dave Caldwell early on did, when they tried to get young, they got young too much. They didn't keep enough veterans around. Well, that was a mistake on their part. Well, now that they try to reload this thing and they get a little bit more serious, maybe the football IQ, there's a little bit more maturity, maybe a little more team captain-esque feel. Well, did they do that too much? Did they go overboard with that? That's the curiosity, but I can tell you this, from a coaching standpoint, it seems like they're a fun group to coach. Yeah. They're absorbing it all. Now, will it translate to success on the field is something we're about to find out in about 20 days.
I'm going to say this. When you talk about, you replace some of, and we can call them distractions, we can call them vocal guys, outspoken guys, call them whatever you want, but I'm going to say this. On every team that I was on, we had some of those guys, okay? We had some of those vocal guys one could call, some rough around the edges type of guys. But I'm going to say this, though. When you faced adversity, those are the guys that you kind of leaned on. Now, maybe not Jalen, because obviously Jalen was like, he's to the nth degree. He's kind of an outlier. But 9 times out of 10, when it hits the fan, the vocal guys, the rough around the edges guys, the guys that just want to win more than anything, it seems like, those are the guys that you need to boost you up, right? Because those are the guys that give you energy. And let's be honest right now. I'm not saying the Jaguars are going to win 8 games. I'm not going to say they win 4 games. But I promise you they're going to face some adversity this year. They're just, that's the way it is. I look at the roster. I look at the roster right now. I'm just saying there's going to be adversity on this team. Yeah. Okay. They're the youngest team in the NFL, but of course you're going to face some adversity. So my question is, who's going to step up? What are you going to see when they do face the adversity, and how's this team going to respond? Because how they respond, and keep in mind, youngest team in the NFL right now, how they respond to the adversity, in my opinion, is going to set in motion what kind of team you have for maybe the next 5 years, number one. And number two, whether the coaches and GM are going to be safe going into the next season.
Well, keep in mind, they're already dealing with a bunch of adversity, and I guess the first test has been passed.
I'm talking about the adversity for losing, Brent.
Well, I get it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it's not like everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah.
I mean, they're walking into a new NFL, and it's as different as it's ever been. So I guess so far so good in dealing with some kind of adversity.
Sure.
So far. But there will be different levels of adversity, absolutely. 3-game losing streak, getting blown out 41-10, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. Happens to most teams. And how do you respond to it? Keelan Chaisson talked today. Hear from him, and he's getting rave reviews, man. You've seen him out there. I want to get your thoughts on Keelan Chaisson. Does he look better than the Jags even thought? They kind of indicate that. Can he jump off and be productive like Josh Allen? And Josh Allen continues to get rave reviews from teammates as well. We'll talk more Jags coming up. Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane of Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
What's like the concept?
It's like mini games that you kind of compete battle royale style, but it's mini games and you just try to, be the last one standing essentially.
Let me try this again. So what is the concept?
It'll be
English. Check out our podcast on all platforms. Just search ESPN 690. Subscribe to our podcast. Thanks.
I never knew my home would become my workplace. I never dreamed it would be my child's school. And I never imagined my home would be under attack from an invisible enemy called COVID-19. This is why I trust SafeTouch Security. It's one app that puts me in control. My SafeTouch system allows me to control who's on my property, movement while the kids are at home learning their school lessons, who I speak with without even opening the front door, as well as home deliveries, my heating and air conditioning, door locks, and complete protection against the threats of fire, burglary, and assault. You can even have control over your car. Know you are safe with the most up-to-date security system from SafeTouch. SafeTouch Security has been doing what others can't for over 35 years. Reliable local monitoring. No other company comes close to SafeTouch's track record on guaranteed response times. Go to safetouch.com and find out how you can get zero down and free equipment with a lifetime warranty. That's safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Stop! Stop selling your real estate if you want to build your wealth. Our team here at Hometown Realty specializes in helping homeowners with the difficult decision of selling it or renting it. Your home might make a great investment property. We'll break down the numbers and go over the pros and cons to help you make an informed decision. Right now, rents are at an all-time high and mortgages are at an all-time low. So if you have a home valued between $200,000 to $1 million, we invite you to talk to our team today about our sell it or rent it strategy. From securing a new tenant to full background screenings, Hometown Realty offers the most comprehensive sales and management services in the industry. Contact us today for your free Keep It or Sell It market analysis by texting WEALTH to 41404 or at hometownjax.com. Again, that's WEALTH to 41404 or at hometownjax.com.
Been dreaming of subway tile and butcher block counters? Outdoor kitchens and pavers?
Oh, honey.
The weather's great and it's time to knock out those nagging home projects with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Borrow up to 90% loan to value and pay no closing costs. Best of all, we'll give you a free wheelbarrow. That's right, a free wheelbarrow. Apply today at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Just please, no more shiplap.
There's a new, modern, patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge. We're in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Every chance I get, I'm trying to play. This is a game of football, and I mean this in the most positive way as I can be. You will never be 100% playing this game. It's a physical sport. Any knack, any little bumps or bruises I can play through, I'm trying to play through everything. And I just want the team to know that no matter what, I'm going to be here for the team. And I just kind of had a mindset, I'm going to grind through whatever. Obviously, I'm still treating, I'm still taking care of my body every day. I'm still making sure I'm getting rehab the appropriate ways to make sure I maintain and stay and play at the level that I want to on the field. No matter what, I'm trying to play.
That is Keelan Chaisson, Jaguars rookie, getting rave reviews. And again, I got to warn you, I'm trying not to get super crazy. But Austin's out there.
Yeah.
And then Doug Marrone kind of fuels the fire a little bit today. He's like, I'm super impressed. He's like, he looks faster. Doug Marrone doesn't gush about anything.
Yeah, true.
And I felt
Except the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York Yankees. Sorry, Brent. My bad.
And I felt like this was borderline gushing about Keelan Chaisson, about how this guy looks. Like he brought him up, and maybe Kuz can even find that one on Chaisson in a little bit, or maybe when we come back in the next segment. But you'll hear it, and I'll paraphrase it a little bit. It was like, hey, he looks faster than we even thought he did on the tape. Yeah. Now, again, Doug Marrone isn't going to games at LSU. You know, the scouts are, but they see tape. And so he said he looks even faster. He said the amount of space he eats up when he takes steps and his pass rush move, which is an interesting way to hear it. Makes a lot of sense to me, but it's an interesting way to hear it. It reminds me of, I think Ty was saying this about Dončić yesterday because they showed some kind of graphic. He was telling me about it where he, like, when he takes a step in the lane, driving, he steps like 8.5 feet. And that's what it got me thinking about.
That's a Euro step, Brent.
Yeah. So that's what it got me thinking about. And the Keelan Chaisson front, that's what Doug was talking about. He eats up a lot of real estate, man. So, and on top of that, he does it in a very fast way.
Sure.
Bottom line is, you saw a little of him yesterday. Your thoughts on Keelan Chaisson? Should we be super excited about him? Should we hold the phone on it? What do you think?
No, so listen, I mean, the biggest thing that stood out to me, what I talked about when he was at the Combine, the reason why he was one of my top 5 players to get, even above your guy Diggs out of Alabama, it's all good though, was because of his first step, okay? Because the guy does cover ground. Now, I'll be honest, like, I've seen him practice twice, right? I've been to 3 practices, the one practice he was out at, so I've seen him practice twice. I've also seen the highlights. I've seen the one-on-one drills and things like that. I haven't seen him scrimmage yet, and I haven't obviously seen him play in a live game. So it's hard for me to sit here and say, well, you know what? Go ahead and get your Pro Bowl tickets right now because this guy's going to the Pro Bowl, right? Like, I'm not going to make another mistake like I did last year where I see a player, I'm like, all right, this guy's going to be the real deal. Made that mistake last year, Chris Conley and Nick Foles, all right? The very first practice I ever went to, Nick Foles hits Chris Conley like on a 60-yard go route. Next day, I'm on my phone with my friends, guys, Chris Conley, you should probably take him in the 3rd or 4th round in your fantasy draft because this guy's going to have a big year, right? So I don't make that mistake anymore.
We're trying to avoid those mistakes this year.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, I don't make that mistake anymore. But what I have to go off of is what my eyes tell me right now. And the biggest 2 standouts for me from Keelan Chaisson that I've seen so far, number 1, he's a lot bigger than I anticipated. Okay, when I saw him on film at LSU, he kind of seemed like more like that Yannick Ngakoue type of build, right? Where he's super fast off the ball. He loves to dip and everything. And usually when you like to dip, and you use that dip and rip, that means like you're like a Von Miller. So you're a little undersized, use your speed, use your hips, use your athleticism to your advantage. Great bend is a very key word you see at the Combine. well, Chaisson's bigger than I anticipated. Now, whether that was just the film being deceiving on HD or whatever, or whether that was him taking it upon himself to add some muscle going on in his first training camp, whatever the reason, but he's a lot bigger than I anticipated. The thing that stands out to me, though, about Keelan Chaisson more than anything right now, and it's the same thing that I saw Josh Allen have his rookie year that I talked about, are the instincts, okay? Sure, Chaisson's footwork right now, maybe 9 times out of 10 he does a great job, but he has to clean some stuff up. He has to clean the hand placement up, right? He has to make sure he's not taking false steps when he's doing individual drill, all that stuff. And guess what? That comes with time. There's no rookie right there. I don't care if you're Chase Young. I don't care if you're Von Miller, Khalil Mack. There's no rookie who comes out his very first week of practice and has his footwork absolutely down. There's no rookie who comes out there and doesn't second-guess himself a couple times when he's doing run drills. It just doesn't happen because the game is different now. So I'm not worried about that whatsoever. But to me, what I can tell are the instincts, Brent. Whether a tackle's oversetting and he spins back inside, he just already has a feel and a knack for the game. And to be fair, you can't coach that, especially your first week of practice. Either you have that special gift, or maybe as you go on in your career after a couple years of film study, you can get that gift, but he already has it. And that's rare. That's a Josh Allen trait that I love to see. So with that being said, obviously I'm very intrigued with Chaisson. I think he's going to be a heck of a player. And if he can put those instincts together now with his physical skill set and his athletic skill set, you got something special in that guy.
What's interesting here in Jacksonville is the pass rushers have really raised the bar. Mm-hmm. I mean, Yannick Ngakoue exceeded expectation. He was a third-round guy, and he's got 37.5 career sacks. Calais Campbell, nobody would have anticipated what he was able to do from that defensive end spot. And it's not the same as the Allen spot and the Chaisson and Ngakoue spot, but you get my point. He still outperformed even the contract he was given, in my opinion. And now Josh Allen comes in, and, special talent, you get it, top 10 guy, but 10.5 sacks. I mean, that's a monster year, and he looks like he might even be better. And the rave reviews showcase that he might even be better. Yep. And now Chaisson is like, okay, well, like if he gets 5 sacks, is that a disappointment because of what's been in front of him the last few years? They really have raised the standard. But to your point, Josh Allen's a 6'5 guy, played at probably 260, 265 last year. He's down to 250, 255. Well, Chaisson is 6'3", listed at about 250, I think 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there. I mean, he's more Josh Allen than he is Ngakoue.
Yeah.
In terms of build. He's 2 inches shorter, so he doesn't look like Josh Allen, man. I've always said it. You look at him, and he's a specimen. Chaisson doesn't have that feel exactly to me, and I think it's just the 2 inches difference probably, more so than the width difference.
Yeah.
And so I guess I haven't been all crazy like, wow, this guy's going to have an 8, 9, 10 sack year. I kind of felt like he's a piece, and in my own mind, I still kind of feel like Yannick Ngakoue could end up playing football for the Jags.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many even reps he's going to get, but they're starting to rave about him, and you got to love it.
Yeah, and like I've been watching his pass rush moves a little bit, and to me, he seems exactly where Josh Allen was his rookie year. Okay, where Josh Allen was his rookie year. If you have another Josh Allen Jr., let's just say, I don't mean to disrespect him because Chaisson's his own man, but if you have another Josh Allen clone, let's just call it, well, I mean, what are we talking about then? You know what I'm saying? So, once again, I love the instincts. The instincts are there. And keep in mind, like, when you come, whether from a small school or, like, a lower-level school, kind of like a Khalil Mack or a Marcus Davenport from San Antonio, listen, Khalil Mack had the instincts right away, and he had that feel. Marcus Davenport didn't. Josh Allen, we saw he had the feel last year, and now we see where he's at. And I'm telling you right now, I think Chaisson has that feel, and obviously playing at a bigger school, you probably get that a little better as well. But I like what I see from Chaisson so far.
And again, the maturity, the IQ, the smarts seem to all be there with these guys. Chaisson right in there as well. He basically, we answered a question today. He's like, hey, you can't really fool me. I mean, I pick up stuff fast. I'm an accelerated learner, is what he basically said.
That.
I mean,
like that.
And he wasn't being like, I can do everything. I mean, he's just like, hey, whether it's school, whether it's film, whether it's a playbook, I pick it up quick.
Yeah.
Hey, lots to like about Keelan Chaisson.
Love it.
All right, we come back a little bit more Jags, no doubt about it. We'll get into the NBA. Your Bucks looking good. We'll update you on the Bucks.
Was there even a sense of panic at all in my voice
yes.
during game one?
It cracked a couple of times, like
it.
Mike Breen going,
Everybody relax.
Bang!
Everybody
Bang!
Is he sponsored by Bang Energy Drink?
Should be. I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
The summer shower of savings continue. Right now at Beard's Diamonds, get 5 years, 0 interest, plus no money down on any purchase.
This is the best deal of the summer.
Take advantage of Beard's lowest prices in North Florida on diamonds.
How about a $6,000 Tacori or Veragio ring? You pay just $100 a month. Or a pair of diamond studs for $3,000? You pay just $50 a month.
Come in, see the difference. Save thousands.
Beard's Diamonds, located at the St. John's Town Center.
Are you now worried about how to continue providing the same level of service to your customers? Many service-oriented businesses are struggling to create new ways to maintain their customers. What happens to those that haven't been able to adapt? At SCORE, we can help by offering advice and resources through a vast library of online information and timely webinars. Since 1964, SCORE has assisted more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. Go to our website, jacksonville.score.org, to see how we can help you today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Changing your oil. We've got what you need. Regular changes are the best way to keep your engine running smooth. We'll help you find the right oil for your make and model and everything to help you finish the job right, like drain pans, filters, and funnels. And we've got more ways to get it all fast, like our next day delivery and our free same-day pickup, in-store or curbside. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract, full coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Antetokounmpo's 31 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. Milwaukee defeated Orlando 121-106 to take a 3-1 series lead. Mavericks big man Kristaps Porzingis' right knee soreness questionable for Game 5 tomorrow versus the Clippers. Raptors guard Kyle Lowry uncertain for the series opener against Boston Thursday with a sprained left ankle. Now that the 76ers season is over, the process likely done as well. Widely expected that Coach Brett Brown will not return. Philly does need to move on from him, according to First Take's Stephen A. Smith.
You've had 3 or 4 years with Joel Embiid healthy, with Ben Simmons in the lineup, and this is what happens. So at the end of the day, I question whether or not he has the pulse of these players, that he's maximizing what he has to work with.
Our Stephen A. Smith. Stanley Cup playoffs, Avalanche goaltender Philip Grubauer and defenseman Eric Johnson out indefinitely with injuries. Colorado trailing 1-0 takes on Dallas tonight.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hey everyone, this is Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show, you missed this. That was Aaron Gordon from the Orlando Magic. Was he driving a Zamboni? during
Yeah,
that?
I
Or was
believe
that sound from the bubble?
they were zamboning the courts.
I was like, Kuja said Zamboni in the courts.
Is that what Zamboni
That's the verb of Zamboniing.
Sure about that?
Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
We're not actively like, oh, shoot, we got to go out and we've got to get this guy for this position. But I always want to make sure that everyone understands that if something does come available where we feel that it's going to help our football team, and we're going to get better, we're going to be able to do that because we, along with everyone else in this league, have a list of, guys that, potentially can help us in case someone gets injured or not. And I think that before Taven, bruised his knee, he's a guy that's really picked it up. I think that, we saw a little bit of it last year, but this year, he's practicing and performing as well as, I've ever seen him.
High praise for Taven Bryan as well. And I'll tell you what, I've seen that out there too and tried to temper it. And then a knee bruise for Taven Bryan, which I think will be okay. But you just hate seeing guys slowed because you don't know what that does mean. But he had built some momentum. He looks different. He looks different. And this is a guy, Taven Bryan, who, by the way, is a very good athlete. And I'm telling you, I had conversations with Calais Campbell over the last couple of years about Taven Bryan. And he says, listen, he does some stuff. You can't teach some of the stuff that he can do. He knew he had to kind of grow into it and take another step and techniques and all the stuff that you guys all talk about. But he said from just a physical athlete kind of standpoint, like he didn't understand at times. It's always interesting to me. He didn't understand some of the criticisms for Taven Bryan because of what he sometimes saw in practice, I think.
Sure.
Sure. And even sometimes in a game that he would notice. And what a guy like Bryan needs to do is make it more consistent on game day, and flash on game day. But it sounded like he was headed to that place. We'll see. And there's a lot on him this year. Him and DeJuan Smoot, there's a lot on their plate. So we got to stay healthy, first of all, when it comes to the Jags defensive line, which continues to get beat up a little bit. I think this is good news. It's only a knee bruise. It looks like it's a shoulder bruise of sorts for Dede Westbrook. But I will say this. Doug Marrone kind of mentioned like weeks. He's like, a couple of weeks, we're going to monitor it. He didn't say like a day or two here or there. He's like, we're going to monitor over a couple of weeks.
This is for Taven or Dede?
Both.
Both of them.
Yeah,
okay.
He mentioned weeks and not days. But he also said no surgeries or anything like that. So my get 3 weeks away from a game. They'll take it easy on those guys. Those are veteran guys now. I don't know how many reps they need.
They made the team.
They're on the team and a critical part of it, I would say, for Taven Bryan. Dede's interesting now because you have a lot of receivers to choose from and who's going to emerge. A lot of competition on the receiving front. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane. Coos back here on a Monday. Hope you're doing well at Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Thanks for jumping in. We've had this discussion now over the last few days, going back to the classic game we showed, which, by the way, was a lot of fun, at least for me. I enjoyed it. I am not that guy. I don't go back and watch games. The Red Sox have won now, 4 World Series this century, and I don't go back and watch them.
Yeah.
I don't. Now, in the pandemic, they would put, the ALCS from 04.
Didn't watch a single one of those things.
But yeah. I watched a little bit of it when it was on, but I just don't sit there and watch. I found myself Friday night because it's so fresh in my memory still, and it was a lot of fun, and really the only time we've had that kind of fun covering the Jags since I've been here, since 2008. I found myself locked into it and watching, and we were tweeting away, and it was a fun conversation to have with everybody on social media. So that game against the Steelers was fun on Friday night on CBS 47. This week's classic game, by the way, is going to be 1999. Freddie T having a field day against Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins, and the Jaguars just routed the Dolphins, one of the classic games in Jags history. We'll have that one coming up on Fox 30 at 8 o'clock on Friday night. But what I left that seeing game when I was watching was like, man, this offense, first of all, I thought Bortles played better against Pittsburgh than he did. It was okay. He made some clutch throws on third down, but he also went into a slump during that game. I really thought he was better. They really pushed the Steelers around offensively on that offensive line, and it got me thinking. It's like, man, they had Linder on that offensive line. They had Cam Robinson. They had A.J. Cann on that offensive line. They had 3 guys, and 2 of them very young. Cann, I think, might have been in his second year at that time, and Cam Robinson was a rookie, and they were pushing guys around. Well, if you look at the Jags' offensive line now, they have those 3 guys who are now veterans. Cam in a show-me year. A.J. Cann always in a show-me year. And Linder playing at a Pro Bowl level last year. And you add to it a guy who's been an All-Pro in Norwell and a guy who very well could be on his way to a brilliant career in Jawan Taylor. This offensive line should be better than that offensive line of 2017 on paper, you would think. So rookie Cam Robinson, well, rookie D.D. Westbrook also played valuable time on that team. Leonard Fournette was a rookie on that team as well. And I'm missing somebody in there. Keelan Cole. He was a rookie, too, made a huge catch down there in that game as well, down near the 5-yard line. So you had 4 rookies. And so it begged the question to me in a conversation we had on TV last night on Action Sports Shacks Primetime on CBS 47 and Fox 30, and a conversation I want to at least have for a minute or two. Is this offense in 2020 better than that one of 2017? And what people will say, we did a vote, and most people said 2020. It was like 80% of the vote. I got to check where it's at right now. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Before you go that far and say that offense led the league in rushing in 2017.
They did.
They were a top 10 team in total offense. Now, they had a defense that gave them the ball in a lot of good spots.
That's the key here.
They did, but they still were a statistical top 10 offense. I kind of say, wow, this offense right here is better on paper. Better at QB. Minshew's probably better than Bortles, right? I mean, you hope he is. Leonard Fournette, 3 years later, you'd think he's a better back.
Correct.
Cam Robinson in a contract year. Linder's gotten better. They're better across the entire offensive line. They had Mercedes Lewis. They have Tyler Eifert. Wash. Let's go push there. They have more variety at the receiving position. Yes, they had Allen Robinson that year, but he didn't play that year. That was the year he got hurt. So, in general, I would say on paper, this offense is better going into this year. But you also have to tell me they're going to be a top 10 offense, and I would say I don't see this offense being a top 10 offense in the National Football League, even though I'm high on them. I'm not going to sit here and pencil them in to be a top 10 offense in 2020.
Man, it's a hard question because the defensive guy in me wants to jump out and say, well, the 2017 defense did that offense a lot of favors. Right, where usually if you're one of the best rush defenses in the entire NFL, odds are you'd probably be one of the best, rushing offenses in the entire NFL. So it works hand in hand here. To me, it comes down to Blake Bortles, Gardner Minshew, right? And right now, from what I've seen, and call it the hype, call it whatever you want. I like Gardner Minshew, man. I really do, because even when Blake Bortles was great, even when Blake Bortles was firing on all cylinders, I'm not talking about the garbage time, but actually when it was genuine minutes, I distinctly remember Allen Robinson going up and getting every single ball that came, his way, right? Where some of those Blake Bortles throws, you can make the argument and say, well, yeah, I mean, he made the completion, but how much of it was on the receiver? Like, how many times did Blake Bortles throw a football? It's like, that's a pass right there. Like, that was right on the money. He helped his receiver out on that one. Usually it was Allen Robinson, it was Allen Hurns going up there to make great catches. So I would probably take Gardner Minshew over Blake Bortles right now. Leonard Fournette, obviously your rookie year versus your third year, you would think that you're going to have more experience. You're going to be a little more savvy. You're going to understand the game better. So I like Leonard Fournette this season than I did back in 2017, his rookie year. And then to me, the offensive line, once again, on paper, I like this offensive line they have, Brent. I love the offensive line they have right now. I like Cam Robinson coming back from, supposedly his knee was bugging him last year. You know what? I believe the guy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I love Jawan Taylor going into his second year. I love A.J. Cann. Seems to be, just the king of the island of misfit toys who you seem to doubt him, but every single year that guy surprises you. He makes the roster, and guess what? He's usually starting because of it. Norwell and Brandon Linder, a solid anchor of that offensive line. So I like the offensive line this year than I did back in 2017. When it comes down to me, though, and the receivers, it's probably a horse apiece, right? Like I can say DJ Chark, Robinson didn't really play in that run, right? He was out.
He was out.
So, I probably like the wide receivers as well. Chenault, interesting, intriguing, let's just say. And obviously, I'm taking DJ Chark over Allen Hurns, I guess would have been the top receiver that year. So, yeah, go and give me the receivers of this year as well. So, I love the offense compared to 2017, but it comes down to the question, how much can the defense help them out? How many turnovers can you create? How can you stop the run this year, and can you be physical? That's a giant question mark right now going forward.
Yeah, it's certainly that. The Jaguars, trying to see, let's see, passing-wise, they threw, let's just see statistically, okay? 3,600 yards passing, 21 touchdowns. Minshew, I think, is going to eclipse that in 16 games this year. I think they're going to throw it more, too, because of that.
Of course.
13 picks. So Bortles was 21 and 13.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would say Minshew will do better. I think he'll have more than 21 touchdowns, and he might have around 13 picks. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying he's going to duplicate.
Are we going to get Minshew a new contract after this season then?
Well,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I just try to be on the conservative side here and say, well, he might have. They're going to throw it a little bit more. He might have 11, 12 picks. He had 6 last year in like 12-plus games. Rushing-wise now, there's the difference, right? They had 2,200 yards rushing as a team. That was 4.3 yards per attempt, and they had 18 rushing touchdowns. Do you know the Jaguars, in that game that we showed Friday night, Leonard Fournette had 3 rushing touchdowns in that game. The Jaguars last year, out of the running back position, had 3 rushing touchdowns the entire season.
That's insane.
All by Leonard Fournette. 3 the entire season.
Who scored would Corey Grant have one against the Steelers? Who had the other rushing touchdown in 2017 against the Steelers? Yeldon. Oh, it was Yeldon that had a touchdown.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he had a touchdown.
Yeah.
So,
wow. I mean, that tells it all right there.
Well, yeah, it says last year versus 17. So I would say 2,200 yards rushing, I think, will be down for the Jags. And again, they were number 1 in the NFL. They were number 2 in touchdowns scored rushing in 17. I don't think the Jags will be better than that because I think their philosophy is going to be to throw it a little bit more. I think they'll utilize the run, but I don't think they'll pound the rock like they did that year with that kind of mentality. Meanwhile, 3,500 yards was 17th in the NFL in passing. I suspect they'll be above on the front half of passing. Touchdowns were, like I said, 21. That was 20th in the league, and interceptions was 16. So their passing attack was middle ground. It wasn't terrible, though. It wasn't like one of the worst. So I would suspect the Jaguars will be top half of the league in rushing, maybe between 10 and 15, 16.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let me go a little deeper in that. Middle third. Let's go like 12 to 18, somewhere in there in rushing. And I would think their passing attack, because of the way the passing attacks are in the NFL, even if they throw for 250 yards a game, that's going to be like 12th, 13th, 14th in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, again, their rankings will not be as high as they were in 17. The big thing is, could they get as many points as they did that year, where I think they averaged right around like 26, 27 points. That was their high water mark. But again, how much of that was on the defense? The defense scored 137 points.
Yeah.
They scored 137 points. That was an unbelievable defense. You know, I was thinking of this the other day when I was watching that. It's like, did the Jags in their front office or their coaching staff, did they truly believe like they would do that again? Because that was such an aberration. Like, you don't do that.
No,
so
that's impossible to try to duplicate again.
They couldn't duplicate that again. So I don't know this. I just wonder what their thinking was. Like, okay, well, we obviously got very fortunate. But, and did they at least calculate in their own mind, okay, if we can have 2/3 of that kind of production, you know, or half the production, I don't know what they said. But did they build the team based in 18 based on if we could have this much production, because we know we're not getting that much production? That would have been silly to rely on. That's like me going out and shoot 75 on the golf course and then thinking I'm going to do it again the next day.
Yeah.
It ain't happening. So I wonder what their mentality was there. Keep in mind what they did is they went from 137 points to like hardly any. They hardly turned the football over in 2018. I mean, they didn't go like drop down to middle of the pack. They were one of the worst in the NFL at forcing turnovers.
Correct.
They went from like first to worst in that regard, and even though they still had a good passing defense.
Yeah. Listen, anytime you have a defensive year like 2017, you cannot duplicate that kind of season. But I think the thoughts were that, listen, we have a solid defense still. Like most of those pieces are coming back.
Heck yeah.
Right? So why wouldn't we be successful again?
Yes.
Right now, yeah, maybe we're not going to score as many points on defense, but that's okay. As long as we give our offense opportunities to succeed, it's going to be there. And I think if you're the offense, back in 2017, you saw, well, we got Leonard Fournette. He was a rookie. Look what he did, okay? Let's give him another year and see where he's at. He's probably going to even be better. Like, we're going to be that tough, physical team, and we're going to be able to inflict our will on whoever we play. And you know what? In 2018, the first couple games, you saw that. That game in Jacksonville at TIA Bank Field against New England Patriots, you saw that. And that's the game that I left thinking, like, okay, like they're going to pick up right where they left off. And then, a couple games later, it all went to you-know-what, and it is what it is now. But I think the thoughts were, yeah, we can't duplicate what we had last in 2017 in terms of maybe even our rushing offense and in terms of our defense. But you know what? It's going to be much like the same. And maybe we'll have other guys step up. Maybe Blake Bortles will step up even more. Like, we're going to be okay. No one could have predicted you go from 2017, 2018, and you just have the fall off. Just you literally fell off a cliff in terms of your productivity and in terms of just what your defense brought to that table.
Yeah, it's interesting. One other note I'll just tell you about watching that game in 17 and just trying to compare it to now and what they have. We are all over this Jags run defense, right, from last year, and we're wondering how are they going to stop anybody given the fact that they have all these injuries and they don't have near the talent on paper as they have had the last couple of years. The Jags, as they said in the broadcast, which I kind of forgot about, they were I think 21st in the NFL in rushing defense in 17. They gave up 116 yards a game in rushing defense. That surprised me. Yeah. Their passing defense was so good. They were so opportunistic in terms of getting to the quarterback, and that showed up in that game as well. I mean, they just had everybody that could rush the passer. But I didn't realize they were still a bit on the softer side against the run. So that has, even when the Jaguars were good on defense, they still, this defense at least, the last few years, they still had issues with the run, which surprised me. Now, remember, they got Marcel Darius midstream. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have the breakdown. Maybe the first 8 games they suffered against it more than in the last 8. And they were so good in other aspects. They were so good from a playmaking. It didn't matter, and they got up on teams and they got to pin their ears back and use that pass defense and that pass rush to their advantage because they didn't trail as much in 17. They played from out front, which was a big part of it.
And listen, to me, the writing at least is on the table for the Indianapolis Colts right now of how you beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, week 1. Because if I'm Phillip Rivers or if I'm anybody on that offense, I'm going to be like, all right, you know what? I'm Phillip Rivers, and yes, I am the Jacksonville Jaguars killer. I know how to beat them. But let's be honest right now. In terms of their run-stopping defense, it's a giant question mark. I'll tell you this, though. Josh Allen, pretty big dude, looks good. If they have Yannick Ngakoue back or even Chaisson, this kid at LSU, got to watch out for him. Let's just run the ball. Right? Like, let's not even give him a chance to get the turnovers. Let's not give him a chance to rattle Phillip Rivers. Let's just play Indianapolis Colts football, rely on offensive line, and let's see if they can match our physicality. To me, I mean, that's right now what I see. That's how you got to try to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Simple as that.
Yeah, 20 days away, by the way. The countdown is on. 20 days. Starting to get a little more real.
Yeah.
Jaguars do say they're going to scrimmage, and they'll scrimmage inside the stadium on Saturday. This just in out of the, not just now in the last hour. See, the Ravens have reversed course. Ravens were one of the first teams to announce that they were going to have fans in the stadium, but they were going to do it at I think it said 14,000, which would have been 20% capacity.
They're the first ones to announce it.
And now they've said they're not going to do that in the early part of the season, no fans. So you've seen a reversal of course from the Baltimore Ravens. Do you think we get to the season and see fans here in Jacksonville, or do you think most teams will kind of peel off that, at least in the early going? I mean, some teams aren't doing it. Vegas isn't doing it, right?
Correct.
Philly can't. MetLife, they can't. I don't know if the California teams have said it yet. Arrowhead actually had some fans in the stands for their scrimmage.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have set up a 13,000-seat capacity. So we're seeing it all different. I think even Seattle said nothing in the early going. And, their 12th man's a big part of it.
Huge part.
So we're getting it all over the place. Yeah. McDermott, the Buffalo Bills head coach today, said it was ridiculous that everybody's
about this.
That all different. Why don't we have one uniform way, essentially?
That's what I've been preaching. Yeah. Man,
all or nothing.
I mean,
you can't get your candy. We can't either.
Listen, you're asking me right now what would I do, right? And you don't like people to ride on the fence, so I'm trying to come up with a logical explanation here. I want everybody on the same page because I don't think. Listen, if you have 14,000 fans in TIAA Bank Field, is that really a home field advantage because you have fans in the stadium? Probably not.
No, but it allows you to make some money.
It allows you to make some money, but you have to ask the question: does the money outweigh the liability? And if it does, then more power to you. And if you're worried about the bottom dollar, then more power to you. If you're worried about the liability point, if you're worried about maybe some bad optics, then don't do it. It's as simple as that. And it's hard because, yeah, I want to say I want every single team to follow the exact same rules and have it be uniform. But to me, it comes down to more of a state thing than it is an NFL thing, right? Where if the state is opened up and if the state is, casual about how they're dealing with COVID-19, then so be it. If the state is a little more aggressive, is a little more, maybe counteractive about, going out in public places, wearing your mask, things like that, well, then do your thing there as well. So to me, it's more of a state issue and how they're monitoring it more than an NFL issue. And obviously, as we know, Brent, right now, in terms of the COVID-19 landscape, there's two schools of thought and, there's two sides kind of entrenched in the ground. And when you have that, you have, different states kind of having their own beliefs as well. So I say you just follow your state's guidelines and go from there.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you, that some of the coaches are this bent out of shape about it. Sean McDermott for the Bills, I think Zimmer for the Vikings also commented. Here's the quote from McDermott. It is what it is, and this is talking about going down to Miami where they're going to have like 13,000 fans. Yeah. And I guess the Bills haven't decided yet what they're going to do because the Bills one, it says, current rules in their region of New York don't allow for it. So they're hopeful to have them, but right now it wouldn't allow them.
Okay,
I guess is the deal in Buffalo. But he says it is what it is. We control what we can control. I think it's honestly ridiculous that there will be on the surface what appears to be a playing field that's like that inconsistently across the league with the different away stadiums. But it is what it is. We control what we control. That's going to be our mindset, and that's how we adapt.
See, he's upset, though, because he thinks it's going to be a home field advantage, quote unquote. Right, like he feels like if you have fans in the stadium at some places, that home team has the advantage. All right. At the same time, then tell Kansas City and tell Seattle during a regular season to stop being so loud. Right, go to Seattle and say you guys got to stop cheering so loud because we can't hear anything. Right, if your quarterback Josh Allen can't handle 13,000 casual Miami fans cheering against him, is the NFL really for you, Coach? Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. What else is he worried about? The players are going to get sick because of fans in the stands. Like, they're not going to be able to touch the players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think these guys are out of their minds. I mean, this is like going to play pickup basketball in the park and telling everybody to be quiet. That's how loud the fans are going to be at these stadiums. I mean, 13,000 in a 65,000-seat stadium. How loud can you possibly be?
Man. Yeah.
I mean, if this is what we're bothered by.
I was going to say, why are we spending energy on this? Dude, get your team ready. You got 3 weeks to get ready for a season. Focus on that.
This is ridiculous, really. I mean, I don't understand.
And I like the Bills this year, but
I just don't get it from a coaching perspective. Like, why would you be bothered by that? Why? Like, if I was an organizational perspective now, if I'm the Buffalo Bills or if I'm Seattle or if I'm one of the owners, I could see beefing a little bit like, hey, why aren't we all doing this the same way? Why are they allowed to make money in Miami and in Jacksonville and in Dallas, but we can't do it even though our government says we can't have it? We would like to, but they say we can't do it under the guidelines. So, like, I guess you could get that complaint. Like, that would make sense if somebody beefed. And maybe behind closed doors they are beefing. But even then, it's like, at least in Miami and Jacksonville, it's like, these guys haven't had full stadiums anyway. Give them something.
Yeah.
I mean, 13,000, that helps.
Yeah.
I mean, other places, they've been selling out for years.
Yeah.
So, I just, this is surprising. Like, This goes in the department of. Did you see the quote from Gase this week that I tweeted out?
I did.
About he wouldn't tell Rich Cimini about
when they're gonna scrimmage. He says you got to show up.
What the hell, Adam Gase? I mean, what is the top secret knowledge here? The NFL sometimes thinks they're so dang smart. These coaches, it's like, what are you protecting? And Gase. the way he answered that. I mean,
it led me to believe that, and I'm not sure the relationship. I don't know if they go back and forth all the time, but it was
Jermaine was good about it, and I think
he's
it's
professional.
Jermaine. He was like, "Listen, I had to deal with Bill Parcells. This guy's nothing."
Yeah, I thought he was professional about it, but it was like Adam Gase kind of saying, like, "Well, if you want to know, then show up every single." Like, dude, you don't know. I don't know. Like,
listen, it makes you
go ahead.
It makes you appreciate. I'll say this about Doug Marrone here. He's very cordial with the media, and I say it, and it's okay if he's not. By the way, like it's fun when guys are not sometimes, like the Gase stuff. But the Gase stuff came across so like this isn't a hard question, man.
I know.
He's like, how about just like I'll let you know later in the week. Instead, he becomes antagonistic about it. He's so easy not to root for. At Gase. I mean, he just seems like such an ass. I have no idea. Don't even know him, but he comes across that way. He presents himself that way. And so I give credit to a guy like Marrone, though, because I was thinking about it today. There's a lot of fun moments on Zoom. In fact, I'm working on a story over Microsoft Teams. Work on a story going into the season about it. But there's a lot of fun moments. But right from the get-go, Marrone has been very good about, hey, I know this is different. I know this is challenging. I'm going to try to work through this, give you what you need, and we'll make it the best we can make it. Let's just say this. I don't see that coming from Adam Gase. And that's a little bit maybe the New York media, too. But Adam Gase is setting the table for that. Did I see today, too, there was like a fight in Jets camp or something? I guess it was a big fight.
Yeah, I missed that one. Listen, like, I mean, as far as Adam Gase, I've had he was my coach for like, I wasn't my coach, but he was there for a couple weeks when I was in Chicago, my last, that spring or whatever, during that transition with John Fox and him. So like, I talked to him a couple of times. I never had an issue with him. But here's my problem with everything. Here's my issue with McDermott, and here's my issue with Adam Gase. Two separate circumstances there, but kind of the same umbrella, let's just say. What are you guys worried about? You guys have literally 3 weeks to get a team together and evaluate talent and play a game of football in a landscape that no one's ever prepared for before. All right? So focus on that. Why are we focusing our energy on, was Porter going to be here today or not? Are you going to show up and see what it's going to like? Why are you focused on that? Hey, Buffalo Bills, why are we focused on if there's going to be fans in the stadium or not? You can't control that. Like, how is it that coaches always say control that you can't control the uncontrollables? But here we have coaches trying to justify the uncontrollables. Yeah. What are we doing right now, man?
Well, in fairness to McDermott, he kind of puts that in there. He kind of covers himself by saying you control what you can control.
See,
but I'm still going to answer the question and be mad about it.
But that's so good. Like, that's the typical coach speak, man.
I know. It's like, well, how about if you really want to control what you can control, you just say it's not bothering you even if it is bothering you.
Exactly. It's on your radar.
And why would it bother you?
It's on your radar.
Some of these guys.
See, that's why I don't get into coaching, Brent. There's no way. There's no way I could deal with this kind of stuff.
I guess you would think the NFL, man, they are solving things that I mean.
Oh, no, man. There's bitterness just like everybody else.
It's crazy. Hey, we talk a little hoops coming up. We'll get back to some football as well. What else went on this weekend? I mean, Luka Dončić. Out of his mind.
Larry Bird would have never pulled up that shot. Larry Bird would never.
Hey, let's just say this.
Larry Bird would never.
Come on. Larry Bird wouldn't need to create that separation. He'd just shoot right over the top of him.
He'd be down by 20 right now, getting ready to go back to Boston.
You got nerve, man.
Larry Bird would never have the audacity to pull up like Luka did.
You're going to make me hate Dončić just because of the way you say things about Larry Bird.
But by the way, in Latin, the light bringer, Luka. I did some research on him.
Very good.
I'm that impressed.
I did some research, too. Did you see who the Sacramento Kings could have drafted? Wait until I read you this list.
I can't wait.
It's next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to at times mostly cloudy today with on and off showers and isolated thunderstorm. Highs in the upper 80s. Still a few lingering showers tonight in the 70s. Partly sunny and hot tomorrow. A widely scattered shower or thunderstorm. Your Tuesday high up to 91. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where for a limited time you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing. I never knew my home would become my workplace. I never dreamed it would be my child's school, and I never imagined my home would be under attack from an invisible enemy called COVID-19. This is why I trust SafeTouch Security. It's one app that puts me in control. My SafeTouch system allows me to control who's on my property, movement while the kids are at home learning their school lessons, who I speak with without even opening the front door, as well as home deliveries, my heating and air conditioning, door locks, and complete protection against the threats of fire, burglary, and assault. You know, you can even have control over your car. Know you are safe with the most up-to-date security system from SafeTouch. SafeTouch Security has been doing what others can't for over 35 years. Reliable local monitoring. No other company comes close to SafeTouch's track record on guaranteed response times. Go to safetouch.com and find out how you can get zero down and free equipment with a lifetime warranty. That's safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
It happens to all of us. That AC unit just starts making some noise, or even worse, it's not working anymore. This is the time of year you don't want that to happen. It's way too hot around here. My friends at Bold City Heating and Air will help. They helped us. It started with a call from my wife, and she said the AC wasn't working. So we jumped on boldcityac.com, and before we knew it, they were at the door. Super friendly customer service, clean, timely, and personal service call. And now we're loyal to Bold City Heating and Air. They took care of my family. They'll take care of your family. It's a big investment in AC unit, but a necessary one. Mirrors at Bold City Heating and Air has built a strong culture, and as a customer, you can feel it. We felt it. The easiest way to start the relationship with an AC company you can trust is to go to boldcityac.com. Have Bold City Heating and Air check out your AC. Right now, it's $25 off and annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it's working efficiently. Good peace of mind at the very least. Visit boldcityac.com. Be bold and beat the heat at boldcityac.com.
Most of our homes have really taken a beating over the past few months. With the kids, the pets, and everyone else coming in and out, don't worry. Zero Res is ready to help. Zero Res is the only way to clean your carpet and tile. The right way. More than just another carpet cleaner. It's in the technology. Zero Res uses its patented powered water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or harmful chemicals. That means your home will stay cleaner longer because you don't have any of that crunchy residue left behind. See for yourself. Google Zero Res and read over 3,000 five-star reviews. Those Zero Res guys are cleaning freaks. Call now and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Remember to mention WOKV and get an additional room clean for free. That's right, the 4th room is on me. Call Zero Res at 904-287-5727. That's 904-287-5727. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Stop! Stop selling your real estate if you want to build your wealth. Our team here at Hometown Realty specializes in helping homeowners with the difficult decision of selling it or renting it. Your home might make a great investment property. We'll break down the numbers and go over the pros and cons to help you make an informed decision. Right now, rents are at an all-time high and mortgages are at an all-time low. So if you have a home valued between $200,000 to $1 million, we invite you to talk to our team today about our sell it or rent it strategy. From securing a new tenant to full background screenings, Hometown Realty offers the most comprehensive sales and management services in the industry. Contact us today for your free Keep It or Sell It market analysis by texting WEALTH to 41404 or at hometownjax.com. Again, that's WEALTH to 41404 or at hometownjax.com.
I never knew my home would become my workplace. I never dreamed it would be my child's school. And I never imagined my home would be under attack from an invisible enemy called COVID-19. This is why I trust SafeTouch Security. It's one app that puts me in control. My SafeTouch system allows me to control who's on my property, movement while the kids are at home learning their school lessons, who I speak with without even opening the front door, as well as home deliveries, my heating and air conditioning, door locks, and complete protection against the threats of fire, burglary, and assault. You know, you can even have control over your car. Know you are safe with the most up-to-date security system from SafeTouch. SafeTouch Security has been doing what others can't for over 35 years. Reliable local monitoring. No other company comes close to SafeTouch's track record on guaranteed response times. Go to safetouch.com and find out how you can get zero down and free equipment with a lifetime warranty. That's safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, 0 interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Hi, I'm Hunt Hawkins, CEO of Steinmart and chair of the 2020 First Coast Heart Walk. The 2020 Heart Walk is going virtual, and while we might not be able to meet in person, we still need you to support the American Heart Association's mission of being a force for a world of longer, healthier lives. Register and start a fundraising team today at firstcoastheartwalk.org, and then make plans to join us on Saturday, September 12th to Heart Walk where you are. Let's make a difference in the fight against heart disease and stroke. Register today at firstcoastheartwalk.org.
Locally sponsored by Steinmart, Florida Blue, and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
To our Fox 30 viewers, we have important news. If you watch our programming using an antenna, on August 25th, you'll need to rescan your TV to continue watching Fox 30. If you have a cable provider or DirecTV, you can continue to enjoy our programming and do not need to take any action. If you have questions, log on to tvanswers.org for additional information or call the Federal Communications Commission at 1-888-CALL-FCC. Thank you for watching Fox 30.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. The Baltimore Ravens have released 7-time Pro Bowl safety Earl Thomas for conduct detrimental to the team, which happened after a fight with a teammate. Here's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter with more.
Listen, he was a great player when he was out there last year, but I think that there were issues in terms of tardiness. I think there was the issue the other day with the fight on the sideline when he punched his teammate. I think it's essentially a situation where the team felt it's in its best interest to move on from him right now.
In the NBA last night, Boston closed out their series with the 76ers, leaving Joel Embiid to ponder his future with the team. Toronto is on to the next round after keeping Brooklyn in the house. Mavs and the Clippers are 2-2 after Dallas won in OT, and Utah beat Denver by a pair and leads the series 3-1. If you're working from home and you want to listen to ESPN, well, tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
Everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Brent Martineau.
How many push-ups did you do in 3 minutes? Did you try the challenge?
Austin Lane.
I don't need lactic acid build up when I'm in fight camp. Brent, you kidding me? Take my word for it. I've been more than you.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Gets it into Dončić just inside of half court to the top of the arc. Steps left. 3 for the win. Bang! Bang, bang, bang! Luka Dončić just won it for the Mavericks as time expires at the end of overtime. 135-133. 43 points for the Jedi, and the series is tied at 2. Unbelievable.
They call him the Jedi now?
Yeah, guess so.
Is that his nickname, Coos?
I feel like every game there's a new nickname for every NBA player.
Just trying to make something stick?
I guess.
The guy's incredible.
Oh, I know, Brent.
He's fun to watch.
I'm aware.
I'm going to put this out right here.
Here we go.
The best player in the NBA right now is...
So now that's ANTETOKUMPO, or just say Greek Freak. I know the spelling is going to be hard for you guys out there.
I usually just say Greek Freak. You say his last name very well. I don't even attempt it.
Yep. Well, there's 2 ways to say it. You can say it with the T or the D. You say it with the D, and it's more from his homeland. That's why I say it like that.
Let's practice it.
Giannis.
I got that.
Adete.
Say it again.
Adete.
Adete.
Ducampo. Giannis Adetokounmpo. Yeah, there you go. Giannis Adetokounmpo. Giannis
say Giannis.
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo. So it's out of Tay or out of Day. Say Day, because then you respect his homeland, Brent.
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
There you go. I see you, Brent
Say it
Marno.
fast,
Goose,
man.
what do you got?
I'm a
Giannis.
fast learner.
Giannis. Greek freak.
What's the name of his new shoes?
The Air Zoom Freaks. By the way, my wife a little hesitant, trying to shut fun down in the Lane household because Rowan's got his
What kind of school are you guys going to?
Well, listen, Rowan's got his new shoes. He's all excited, man, and obviously he's jumping higher, he's running faster, confidence at an all-time high right now. And my wife's got to ruin fun because she said, well, it says Air Zoom Freak, which is the name of his shoes, on the tongue of his shoes. She's like, well, is he going to be allowed to wear the Air Zoom Freak on the tongue to school? I'm like, well, we're not going to put tape over it. And I'm not going to put a marker over it.
That'd be awesome if you had to duct tape it. It's like a tattoo.
Like he's got tattoos of LeBron James back in the day wearing this. No, listen, hopefully, because it's in super small writing because he's got a small foot, obviously. Yeah. So I think he's going to be okay. Thankfully, we haven't got a phone call yet.
How did she take the shampoo conditioner conversation the other day?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think she's really aware of it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I actually went into the shower after our conversation. I took a shower myself and I counted. So I misspoke. 13.
13? You had the Martinos topped. We had 11.
13 shampoo and conditioners. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow. Coos, don't let this happen to you.
Help.
We
Help.
have 2. I don't know.
Somebody
that's impressive.
Somebody help me. I'm not even exaggerating. 13. I'm not counting body washes. I'm just counting shampoo and conditioners. 13.
Sounds like you need some help.
Yeah. I mean, do we have to get like a what's
Salon selective
that show
help.
like where they say about hoarders?
Hoarders.
It's like a hoarder situation.
That is a hoarding situation.
It's a hoarder situation.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Where I'm gonna like say, hey, babe, can we throw this one out? No. Okay, calm down. All right, just go put it back up there.
It is up to you.
It's up to you. It's up to you. It's the best. You ever watch that show?
No.
Oh, those people freak out so much. It'll be like a half-eaten pizza.
Yeah.
Like that's, I don't know, 5 months old. Well, don't throw it out quite yet. I'm saving it for some reason. Okay, calm down.
They really hoard that stuff?
Oh, yeah. Okay, calm down. Let's put it back. Yeah.
The best player in the NBA right now is?
Right now.
Is it Luka? Is Luka too easy of an answer? Is he the best player? LeBron had an unbelievable game the other day. Anthony Davis coming off a big game the day before. Kawhi Leonard continues to play excellent basketball. I don't think it's Paul George.
Wow, Brent. Really going on a limb in that one right now. Yeah.
He turned off his comments on Instagram because
Did he?
As you should.
Is it Jason Tatum playing well?
We haven't even named him yet.
I haven't named who is the best player?
Who I think is probably playing at his best, yes.
You're not talking about Houston. Oh, Donovan Mitchell.
I think Donovan Mitchell might be
Mitchell's
one of the
up
best
there.
right now.
He's up there. Me, personally, I'm taking Luka. All right. And all due respect, and if I could say I'm sorry in Greek, I would definitely do that. Don't know how to do it. But you know what, Giannis? I'll learn it tomorrow. I'll get back to you on that one. I just think right now, and keep in mind, on a bum ankle, nonetheless, and once again, Larry Bird would never on a bum ankle, and then those Converse weapons. Are you kidding me?
I don't know why you have to do this.
Because people are calling the next Larry Bird. Did you see that? You see Shannon Sharp called Larry Bird Jr. The disrespect from Shannon Sharp. But needless to say, though, my point real quick.
Did you see that 70s thing that I retweeted? Larry Bird spiking the ball at Bill Lambert the other day?
I did not.
It was awesome.
He threw a ball at Bill Lambert?
Yeah. It was great.
I'm sure that was all gimmicks. He didn't really mean to do that. Whatever. That's not his personality.
How to say I'm sorry in Greek.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Signomi.
Hey, Antetokounmpo. Signami. But Luka Dončić right now is the real deal, man. On that bum ankle and literally put the team on his back. Keep in mind, Porzingis out last night.
Yeah.
Or was it 2 nights ago?
No, it was last night.
Oh, last
That was last night.
I keep forgetting.
You had a long weekend.
I had a long weekend. But yeah, so Porzingis is out, the unicorn out, and literally it was the Luka Dončić show. So with that being said, keep in mind, against a pretty great Clippers team, and even put Kawhi on him. Kawhi had no answer, all right? Remember last year, Kawhi took on Giannis, shut him down a little bit. Could not shut down maybe a 75% Luka. So with that being said, I think right now Luka's definitely probably the player of the bubble, let's just say.
Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable.
But Mitchell's a close second, man, because Mitchell's playing lights out too.
Even when games in a row.
And even when Conley comes back. because you got the sense when Conley came back, it's like, all right, well, Conley's a good player, obviously. Mitchell, you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and give me some love, too. And Mitchell's like, nah, we're all good here. My team now.
Well, even Conley comes back and still drops 24 points. It's not like he didn't contribute.
He did, but it's Mitchell's team now.
Oh, yeah.
This is my team now.
And Murray on the Nuggets also dropped a 50-point game, which is insane.
Well, this changed, by the way, in a matter of about 72 to 96 hours because I asked this question last week and everybody said Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, so...
Who's that? What?
I just named 12 guys and I didn't name Lillard.
Dame Lillard, Brett. What is that, man? That's like 2 weeks ago. What are you talking about, Dame
That's
Lillard?
what I don't understand. The NBA should be cooking. I mean, you talk about, again, you got this March Madness style basketball. You got some great games. You've got unbelievable talents. You've got different style games that you could fall in love with all over the place. And again, I think it's crazy what's going on. But it reminds me of Major League Baseball a little bit. People don't talk about Major League Baseball. You get young stars all over the place. True. I tweeted this over the weekend about Major League Baseball. I mean, Bryce Harper, he's a $400 million guy, and he's quietly having a tremendous season for the Phillies. Mm-hmm. How can you quietly have a tremendous season when you're a $400 million guy? Is it me just not paying attention? Or there's so many good players that nobody talks about him anymore? The Phillies are not playing well altogether. But Bryce Harper had kind of lulled us to sleep because he really didn't do anything last year. We wondered if he deserved that kind of contract. You got Fernando Tatis Jr. ripping it up, who's actually making Manny Machado be a quiet guy in Forgotten Peace in San Diego.
Which I love, by the way. I love that. So you
have all this stuff going on, and the NBA kind of reminds me of that right now. You got all these tremendous performances, but Luka is something special. Mm-hmm. So here's the tweet I saw. This was actually a yesterday tweet, but I was just catching up. This is amazing.
Hit me with
now,
it.
you think the Jags have drafted poorly, and you might be right.
Yeah.
But and everybody relates the Doncic stuff to Trae Young in Atlanta. Right?
Because a lot of teams have passed on him.
Well, I got to read this. Okay. So Tim Kawakami, I don't know who he writes for, The Athletic in San Francisco.
Nailed that name, by the way. Nicely done.
He says this.
Okay.
This is who the Sacramento Kings drafted. And this is who they could have had over the last decade.
I love it.
Are you ready?
Hit me with it. Let's go.
In 2009, they drafted Tyreek Evans. They could have had Steph Curry. In 2011, they drafted Jimmer Fredette. They could have had Kawhi Leonard. In 2013, they drafted Ben McLemore.
Heard of him?
They could have had Giannis.
Oof.
In 2015, they drafted Willie Cauley-Stein. They could have had Devin Booker.
I would say the 2020 on Giannis, though, is like...
I know. Hey, hang on a second here. You don't interrupt this one.
I know,
this is
but
good.
I'm trying to give
Marvin Bagley in 2018 could have had Luka. So they could have had, over the last decade, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic. As Ty said to me, I told Ty this, he said, that's devastating.
Well,
he's like, even if they just had one of those guys.
That's an easy, that's another thing, let's just say.
But you're right. I told them that about Giannis.
The Giannis one was no one expected
him
to be like this.
How much the Kings paying you, though?
Giannis.
How much the Kings paying you right now to say that?
No,
well, we said it the other day. You said it the other day.
But listen, 1 out of what? 7 or 8? Then fine. Give him the Giannis one and say Giannis was way too raw. So be it. Those other names on that list, Jimmer Fredette. I mean, I get Jimmer was the guy in college.
And they're also credited with wasting Boogie Cousins' career, essentially.
Well,
True.
But I would say this. Sometimes the draft, it's what you're looking for. Like the Willie Cauley-Stein one is an interesting one. They could have had Booker. Well, they obviously were going for somebody in the post, how their team was built, what they were looking for. So they weren't going after a Booker guy. So you're not always chasing that next guy. But when you talk about game changers in terms of Greek Freak and Dutch, that seems like a different story. Again, the Steph Curry one is interesting because Curry out of Davidson. Yeah, the other thing about Kawhi Leonard, did you know where Kawhi Leonard went to school?
Is it? No, I can see it right now. It's Burgundy. Arizona State? No.
I have no idea.
No, but you're out that way and you got the state right. It's not in Arizona, but you're out that way.
It wasn't UCLA.
I can see the logo. It's like the Sun. Is it a Sun Devil?
I don't see. You have this. I mean, it's in the state. It's state is in their name. It's not. You're in the state of Arizona.
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah.
Not a sun though. It's like a spear, but you're close.
Yeah.
Had to look that up.
Aztecs, right? Aztecs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to look that up.
Close. Dang, it's San Diego State.
San Diego State, are they quiet? Haven't they quietly been pretty good? Didn't they Fisher, the guy from, he would have been coaching there, right? From Michigan. Remember the Michigan coach?
I think that's who that is.
Steve Fisher?
Yeah, they've had like a pretty good run lately.
I think they have, yeah. But how about that, though, if you're the King? I mean, how many GMs have the Kings gone through in that time? Hopefully a bunch. It's not the same guy.
Oh, no, yeah. Turnover over. The coaches and GMs, I feel like it's.
Who's the GM? Is it Vlade Divac?
No, he just stepped down.
He stepped down.
Okay, I got you.
So after he saw that list.
They probably ran him out after that list. So, with this NBA bubble, we talked about how maybe some of the rules and stuff put in place for teams to try to make it with those buy-in games was the fact that they wanted to showcase Zion Williamson and then showcase John Morant, right? Like, it helped those players out. And I think the NBA depended on Zion Williamson to be that household name this year and kind of be that up-and-coming talent. Well, I think he had an okay bubble experience along with John Morant. John Morant did all right as well. But, like, how much does the NBA benefit now that you have this young up-and-coming talent? Because I say young. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo is still young, but it seems like he's already a career veteran.
Yeah.
Right? And now you have Luka and everything. Like, to me, the NBA is going to benefit from years to come just because of Luka's performance in the bubble.
Anthony Davis is young, too.
Yeah, they're all young, but
Well,
it's like, who's the next best thing? It's the NBA.
The beauty
brand.
for the NBA is they've got generations of stars. They've got LeBron, still a big-time star. I mean, Steph Curry, when he's healthy, is still a big-time star. I mean, and they've got all these young players, too. By the way, hey, are the Mavs going to beat the Clippers now? I mean, are they in trouble? It's 2-2.
I think the Clippers rebound. I think when I called it, I said I had the Mavs winning 2 games. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to say Clippers win the next 2.
Bucks did win today, so that's good for you.
Yeah.
You never were sweating.
Going to go and put my feet up real quick, but I'm not worried about that.
I've got a happy birthday question for you guys when we come back. And the final hour of some sports talk, too. But first, the happy birthday question. Next on ESPN 690. Let's take a minute and talk about your health, your good health. We can't take it for granted, and CGC Water would like to help. It's important to have clean, purified water in your home for your good health. CGC offers no contact sales and service appointments, and they've taken all the necessary precautions while in your home. Kinetico systems from CGC Water remove up to 99% of the contaminants. Now that's taking care of your health. This month, get 50% off a K5 reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. No more filling the landfills with plastic from expensive bottled water. Instead, fill up on cleaner, safer water from CGC Water. We love it at our house. You can have it at your house. Get the peace of mind knowing your family is drinking great tasting, purified, safe water. Kinetico features Premier Softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that are super efficient and use less salt. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer, servicing North Florida and Southeast Georgia.
You ready for some good news? No, make that great news. You know that new Toyota you've been wanting? It's as good as yours thanks to the huge savings going on now at Arlington Toyota. Every new Toyota Arlington's got is on sale. In fact, you can get 0% for 60 months on 10 new Toyota models. That's 0% for 60 months on 10 new Toyota models. Want to drive away in a new Toyota with no payments? Right now at Arlington, you can. Get no payments for 90 days on your new Toyota purchase. Every single day at Arlington, you're going to have over 750 new and quality pre-owned to choose from on the lot, ready for you to drive home today. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a nationwide lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. But wait, there's more. It's time to get your new Toyota and save big at Arlington. Wait no more. Now's the time to get your new Toyota and save big at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/August savings for full details.
The economic difficulties caused by the current pandemic is affecting the survival of local small businesses. Many have had to close or greatly reduce operations. How well prepared are you to gear back up once conditions begin to improve? Will there be enough working capital to do so? Take advantage of this time to participate in a SCORE webinar or meet virtually with a counselor to get some ideas on developing a business recovery strategy. Register for a webinar or schedule a confidential mentoring session at jacksonville.score.org.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st. At Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
I never knew my home would become my workplace. I never dreamed it would be my child's school. And I never imagined my home would be under attack from an invisible enemy called COVID-19. This is why I trust SafeTouch Security. It's one app that puts me in control. My SafeTouch system allows me to control who's on my property, movement while the kids are at home learning their school lessons, who I speak with without even opening the front door, as well as home deliveries, my heating and air conditioning, door locks, and complete protection against the threats of fire, burglary, and assault. You know, you can even have control over your car. Know you are safe with the most up-to-date security system from SafeTouch. SafeTouch Security has been doing what others can't for over 35 years. Reliable local monitoring. No other company comes close to SafeTouch's track record on guaranteed response times. Go to safetouch.com and find out how you can get zero down and free equipment with a lifetime warranty. That's safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233. Time for more summer savings.
No other jeweler in North Florida can beat Beard's Diamonds. And now with their 5-year zero-interest financing, you can go even bigger.
Save on everything. Rings, earrings, bracelets, pendants, wedding bands, all designer jewelry, all colored gemstone pieces, and all diamonds. 5 years, zero interest, and no money down.
Beard's Diamonds, located at the St. John's Town Center.
Come in. See the difference. Save thousands.
In these unprecedented times, nurses on the front lines continue to deliver treatment and care under some extreme medical and environmental conditions. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. If you are a nurse or other licensed healthcare professional and currently face an investigation or complaint that threatens your professional license, let us help you protect your rights. Call us at 904-600-4000 for a consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar & Levine studios. Anajar & Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Moving on to the Eastern Conference semis. Milwaukee beat Orlando 121-106 to take a 3-1 lead. 31-15, 8 assists for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Chris Middleton scored 18 of his 21 in the fourth quarter. In addition to picking up the intensity, defense was a difference, according to Giannis.
Once we play defense, we were able to run in transition. It makes the game easier for everybody. We could get early threes. We could get open threes, wide open threes, driving lanes for me. It bled in transition. So when we play defense, it makes the game a lot easier for everybody.
Giannis Antetokounmpo on TNT. Mavericks big man Kristaps Porzingis with right knee soreness questionable for Game 5 tomorrow versus the Clippers. Raptors guard Kyle Lowry uncertain for the series opener against Boston Thursday with a sprained left ankle. Baseball, Indians manager Terry Francona will miss this week's 3-game set against the Twins while he continues to deal with health issues. He's missed 17 games already this season.
Brought to you by Cooper Tires. Go with great tires that do what tires should do and cost what tires should cost. Go with the Coopers.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
ESPN 690, the home of the Florida State Seminoles in Jacksonville.
Duke goes down to defeat Florida State 79. Duke 74.
The basket lays. Oh, it drops. It drops with 1.8 seconds to go. Here's the snap. Winston rolling right close to pass on the other. It's caught. It's caught. It's caught.
You'll hear Noles football and men's basketball right here on ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio and the Florida State Seminoles.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Obviously different, but I'm here for the game, for the love of the game. Obviously, it's something that I want to give fans the show. We all want to give them the excitement that they want, but this is a serious situation, and we have to understand the circumstances that come with it. For now, we're going to give them the show with a few fans and the guys, the fellow people that's watching it at home, but it's for the love of the game, so it's going to be the same intensity and the same mindset regardless if their fans are not there.
That is Keelan Cole Chaisson, Jaguars rookie. This is life in the NFL. This is just the way it is for these guys. And when asked how different is it, well, this is just the way it is. You like that. Yeah. It's kind of business as usual. I've said this since the first day we went out there and were allowed to see a practice. It was noticeable that the Jaguars had done a nice job of acclimating to this new normal, to kind of buying in to what it was going to be. And I think you got to give him a lot of credit for it. Keelan Cole Chaisson's kind of like, when asked the question, he's like, what, this is different? It's almost, that's how normal it is right now. They get tested. They do virtual meetings. They wear masks. They socially distance. The locker room's probably not as hyper and bouncing off the walls as it sometimes could be, and as many people in it. And it's just the way it is. And you go play football. I think you got to give them a lot of credit. This is all about the players. At the end of the day, you can give credit to the NFL, give credit to the teams, give credit to the operations staff, the people clean. All those folks deserve some kind of credit for putting the protocols in. They appear to be working. There's a lot of money being spent. There's a lot of attention to detail. But at the end of the day, it's all about the players and their buy-in, and are they willing to do it? And thus far, here in Jacksonville and really across the NFL, if you look at the numbers, the answer to that is an absolute yes. They are bought in. And it says a lot about this young football team so far and maybe their maturity, because they are bought in. We wondered which way it would go. Would it be a benefit? Would it be a bad thing? And right now it looks like, hey, this is just the way it is, and we're bought in, and it appears to be a benefit. We don't know any better. We're just a young football team, and this is the way we do things.
Yeah, sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? Where I think when you have some veterans teams, like for instance, I think the New England Patriots, they're a pretty older team, right? A lot of veterans on that team. What happened to them? They had a lot of guys opt out because I think they got, I don't want to say complacent, but they got used to a certain way things were done. And then all of a sudden now you're taking tests every single day and you got a social distance, things like that. That can be hard to go to work every single day when you're accustomed to something else. I think when you have a young team who doesn't know any better, like, listen, we don't know what it's like right now. We haven't even played a full NFL season, or maybe I only have 1 year underneath my belt. With that being said, ignorance can kind of be bliss sometimes. So we always talk about how having an inexperienced team, having a young team is obviously a disadvantage in terms of the practice time and what you get to see on film. Who's going to go with going forward and who's going to get cut, things like that. But it can also be an advantage in terms of how you approach this season just because you don't know anything different.
As of now, these numbers just came out in the last couple hours from the NFL. COVID testing results for the week of August 12th through August 20th. 58,397 tests were administered to 8,573 players and personnel. There were 0 positive tests among players and 6 new confirmed positives among other personnel. You would say everybody that needs to be doing their job on this and doing what you're supposed to do is doing it. I thought Doug Marrone brought up another interesting point today. He said that, I didn't even know they kept stats of colds, but he said they had like 30, if I heard him correctly, he said
stats.
39 colds last year. Like colds, we're talking sniffles and sore throats and, whatever, runny nose, whatever. Coughs. This year they've documented 3. And he says, hey, there's got to have something to do with washing hands and wearing masks, at least in those kind of numbers. Yeah. And even asked more, pushed on the protocol stuff. He's like, you got to wonder sometimes why we haven't been doing this stuff before. Why don't we clean it the way we're cleaning it right now? I mean, yes, there's an expense, but this might become the new norm in terms of the cleaning procedures and trying to keep people healthy and all those things. I mean, a lot of germs in a facility or a gym or a wherever. Yeah. And obviously this has made everybody pay attention to those kind of things, and it appears to be working. I mean, that's all we have. We have the data. We have the numbers they're giving us. It appears to be working. It's as simple as that.
Well, I hate to hear that, Brent, because I'm a hugger, man. I'm going to bring in for a big old bear hug when I see you. Obviously, so that's going to hurt my reputation a little bit. But I hear what you're saying, right? And when we're talking about how things are being ran right now, I mean, listen, it's not a bubble, obviously. These guys are still left to their own devices. They can go home. They can choose to do whatever they do right now. They're not locked in dorm rooms, have to be here at a certain time, things like that. So far, it seems like the NFL and the players, they're buying in, and that's great. They're taking this seriously, as you should. I love to hear that. Now, we'll see if they can keep this up, obviously, when the season starts and, it starts to be a little mundane for them. Then we'll see. But I like what I'm hearing right now. But you make a great point. When, this whole COVID-19 thing's over, hopefully it's the next year or so, who knows, but one day when we walk out of the ash and the smoke clears and everything and we're back to our normal lives, I think we're going to see a cause and effect where people are be more self-conscious about their hygiene, more self-conscious about washing their hands, maybe social distancing, covering your mouth when you cough. Just kind of the basic fundamentals that kind of get lost sometimes. Well, now they're going to get brought to the light because of COVID-19.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Does it surprise you that it's working to this degree so far? Did you think there would be a breakout of some sorts, kind of like the Marlins, the Cardinals, and now recently we just saw with the Mets had some tests. Yeah. I don't know about a breakout there, but we had some test results that stopped things. We've seen it at Notre Dame and North Carolina and other schools that have gone back to campus. Heck, we've seen, at least quietly, I've heard about some things happening in high schools in the area that are already back in session in terms of quarantining because whether a teacher got it or a kid got it. Mm-hmm. So are you surprised that it's been this effective? And what's the next hurdle? Is it totally different? Because keep in mind, they're only scheduled to test daily until September 5th, I think it is. Mm-hmm. That would be the week prior to the season. Initially, they actually said until like August, I'm going to throw out a date here because I forget the exact one, but let's just say August 12th, and they were going to go every other day. Well, it was working so well that they decided to go every day testing. Players agreed, owners agreed. Because there's a hefty cost in this. They did 58,000 tests. Yeah. I mean, some people say tests cost $150 a piece. I doubt the NFL is paying that because of the amount that they're doing. They probably have some great deal with somebody. But still, even if it's $25, I wish I bought stock in that place. That was just for last week. There were 58,000 tests done. Yeah. Of course, you had that snafu over the weekend with the New Jersey
and trust me, that had to be all Bill Belichick's responsibility there. I mean, I don't know how he got to it, but, he had something to do with that.
Yeah, and so people are concerned, though, if you have a snafu like that in 3 weeks on a game day or what then? But the biggest thing is, can this work still? Is there another hurdle for the NFL to get by when teams start traveling, when teams start playing each other?
So if you're asking me if I'm surprised right now we're sitting here, and how many tests were there, positive tests again?
Well, they just said last week there were 6 of non-players. Yeah. None.
Zero.
And there's less than 15 guys on the COVID-19 list across the league. Sure. There's 1 here in Jacksonville.
So am I surprised right now? I'll be honest with you. I'm not surprised.
Really?
But here's the reason why. You're still in training camp. Like, yes, you can go home, and yes, you're dependent on a lot of your friends and family to follow suit and do the right thing. But right now, I think when you're in training camp mode, regardless if you're staying in a dorm room, a hotel, or you're in the confines of your own bed, you don't have time to really do anything else. Okay, like, yeah, you can eat with your family, things like that, but then you're going to bed more than likely, unless you're CJ Henderson and you're up till, 4 o'clock in the morning, but you're still in your room. Like, right now, we don't really get the socializing aspect of being an NFL player. When the season starts, that's the next hurdle. When the season starts, teams maybe start winning games or losing games, and it gets to the point where it's like, well, man, come on, like, let's just go out, let's go socialize a little bit. Let's get back to a little bit of normalcy. That's the next hurdle for me, is when the season starts. But I'll be honest, I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised, but I am impressed with what I've seen from NFL players so far.
Yeah, I wonder what it will look like in a few weeks. We have to hold, like, right now, I feel like, hey, this thing's working, man. It's going to be good. Now, when people start traveling, will they the strict protocols that are in place for traveling, when they do play against other teams and maybe something didn't get detected, you just got to really rely on these tests, and you got to hope these tests are right, because all it takes is one player. The way this thing allegedly works is one player from Indianapolis comes down here and has it but doesn't know, and bam, you could have 100 guys on the field that could be susceptible to getting it. And I'm not saying that'll be the case, but you'll have an outbreak potentially. Yeah. So that's the thing they have to avoid. That'll be the next hurdle. I think I'm different than you. I'm shocked that it's gone this well. I thought we would have, when the first week when the Jags reported guys on that COVID-19 list, I was like, get used to it, folks. I mean, everybody's going to be on this list. I mean, up and down, they're going to be on this list. I thought we'd have just a yo-yo on that list, even out of precaution, for 3 or 4 weeks. We've hardly seen it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that I probably expected more cases, just because, and I expected more cases not from guys going out and, gallivanting around Jacksonville. I expect more cases from their family members maybe getting them sick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? But I think obviously props to the family members and the friends who have bought in as well. But I just know right now, and listen, once again, even if you're staying at home and you're not in a hotel or a dorm room, like, it's still training camp, Brent, right? And you don't have much of a life right now. Let's see what happens when these football players actually do have a life and have a little bit of free time every once in a while. Let's see what happens then.
You're right. It is still a bit of that. It's early. It's a long season to ask them to do what they're asking them to do. But in fairness, around here, a lot of these guys are going home. Everybody's in the hotel, so they're still doing apparently what they're supposed to do. They've had off days. There have been lighter days, and so far so good. So you got to give them a lot of credit for that. I joked around a little bit about happy birthday. So on Facebook where you get happy birthday notifications all the time. Not like for my birthday, but like it'll pop up. I don't know, 4 different people had birthdays today, and so once in a while, like, I'll see that. I don't check Facebook all the time, not like a daily Facebooker, but when I see that, and if I have a couple minutes, I'll be like, man, I haven't talked to them in a while, whatever. Instead of putting, like, I don't usually write on the timeline on Facebook, happy birthday. But I'll maybe like shoot them a text. So today I shot someone a text. And it was like, it's not my birthday.
So first of all, Facebook said it was their birthday, but it wasn't?
Well, but I think what happened is their number changed. And so somewhere along the way, it's now somebody else's number. I'm telling you, I hadn't talked to them in a couple years.
Yeah.
At least via text.
Okay.
And so when I texted, their number must have changed.
Okay.
Because they're it's not my birthday, but thanks for. I was like, well, whenever it is your birthday, then happy birthday.
All right. Well, then that could be, I guess. I mean, listen, as long as you text the right number and all that stuff, you saw it on Facebook. That can happen. I thought it was more like a Michael Lombardi situation where you got by somebody. No. Right? Like where you just misread the birthday and that's on you.
Or they just put a different date. I'm sure some people do that, but that would be very annoying if you put a different date and you're getting happy birthday and it's not really your birthday.
Listen, I'm going to be quite frank here of how I deal with my happy birthdays, okay? Either it's my wife, it's 1 or 2 of my best friends, it's my son, it's my mom, it's my stepdad, or my grandparents. Everybody else, hey, sorry.
Hope you have a good one.
Hope you have a good one, a happy and a healthy, but I don't got time because I realized I used to be that person that goes on Facebook every single day and happy birthday, happy birthday. I forgot one day, all right, and it was a friend of mine. Forgot one day to wish him happy birthday. When I get text messages like a week later, hey, you don't wish me happy birthday, wish everybody happy birthday. So you know what? That one instance Ruin it for everybody. Now nobody gets happy birthdays. Now everybody gets mediocre birthdays, as far as I'm concerned, or average birthdays. No more happy birthdays for anybody.
I've pivoted on this kind of conversation, actually. I used to think it was the stupidest thing. Yeah. I'm like, why am I getting all these things? Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday. You know what? Now I kind of like it. I kind of like getting happy birthday.
See, you kind of crave that attention now, don't you?
Now I am. I'm like, yeah, but maybe it was the pandemic or whatever, but I enjoyed it this year.
I'm going to tell you, man, this pandemic hits everybody differently. It hit you differently because when you're talking about the cutouts at the stadium, you want your stuff for front and center. True. You want happy birthdays now. I can't. So you go ahead and be that person. Go ahead and be this person then. When it's your birthday, Brent, go on Twitter and be like, another great year. Happy birthday to me. Be that person.
Oh, be happy birthday to me person.
Be that happy birthday to you person and see how I react to that.
Nah, because I'm not that, because I'm not a huge birthday guy. I've said that in the past. I don't really think, I don't fully understand the taking the day off for your birthday. I don't need it. Yeah. I mean, if it happens to fall on that, and I mean, I've had days off when it's my birthday, but I don't hey, it's my birthday, I'm taking it off.
Yeah.
That's not a national holiday for me. Well, it actually is sometimes. It's on Memorial Day. But
let me say this right now, too.
But I'm okay if you are that person. Yeah. I'm just saying I'm not. I'm not ridiculing you. Well, no, I'm not really.
Yeah. If I ever see the phrase or I read the phrase on your Twitter or I hear it in person, you go, it's my birthday month, that's it. You and I can't coexist anymore. I'm just telling you right now.
If that happens, I can't coexist anymore.
With yourself. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, do something. Yeah. Run me over or something.
Yeah, that would be a little rough. By the way, Stuart Weber here, jumping in.
Yeah, I didn't see you, man.
Hey, what's up? Just standing over here in the corner.
Came out of nowhere.
Hey, yeah. That's what happens. RKO. Gotcha.
I like that.
I was going to say, Marcel Robinson, I was surprised when I saw that he will be taking off for his birthday because he is even less of the birthday guy.
Yeah.
He legitimately takes steps to make sure other people don't know his birthday.
Yeah.
September 4th. So people don't know it's Duval Day. I mean, come on. What a birthday, right?
Good point.
904. It's very easy to remember.
Is it 904 or 6th? He's his 6th or 4th. I thought he might be the 4th.
I'm the keeper.
Stuart.
I'm the keeper of the birthdays in a little text document.
But he actually did say, it
is the 4th.
Yeah. It's the 4th. Yeah. I think he did say, but see, I think Marcel's just looking he doesn't want to just tell you, I just want a couple days off. He just wants an excuse. But when he was sharing that with us, I don't really think he's going to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah.
I think he just says, I don't want to take days off just because. I was like, take days off just because. You earn the days off. You get a couple days off, just take them off.
So it's more of an excuse for him.
I think it was kind of because he is he's not the birthday guy.
Respect. I'm not either.
Or maybe he's changed in the pandemic too.
I'm not either.
I don't think it has. I don't think it's changed.
Are any of us birthday guys?
I like my birthday.
But you're not the guy that's going to be let's go out and celebrate and have I don't want to be sexist here, but girls seem to have a thing where
they sound sexist. There.
Well, let's be honest. Girls have a thing where they go out sometimes for their birthday and they're wearing the same outfits and they have the birthday.
It looks fun.
Does it really though?
I don't know.
Looks horrible. And then they go up to guys.
We're doing a guys trip for Brent's birthday to Nashville next year.
To Nashville.
We're gonna go on one of those pedaling carts where you drink beers while you're pedaling.
Brent's birthday bash. We have to wear the exact same outfits and everything.
By the way, all of our shirts have to be black and his white.
Nice. Let's do
just
it, man.
To single out the birthday boy.
Brent's birthday bash in Nashville.
I like it.
Sold.
Let's do it.
I'm all in it. Let's go.
We're really hating on birthdays, but it's okay. I mean, people do like their birthday, and you probably should.
Yeah.
I feel like I do it wrong.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where not caring about birthdays is kind of maybe I should more.
Question then, since we're on the topic right now, it's a great conversation we're having.
Glad I came up for this. Yeah.
So the topic of birthday shots, whether it's male or female, and you're in a bar or you're in a social gathering, you see it's somebody's birthday. Does that make you obligated to buy that person a shot? Because I've encountered this a couple times where, I'm at Jack's Beach. I'm at Jack's Beach, obviously. And a girl or guy will be like, hey, man, it's my birthday. Buy me a shot. That's obviously a guy's voice. A girl will be like, hey, it's my birthday. Buy me a shot. Trying to cover both sets here.
Sure.
And usually I just go, why, dude? I don't know you. I don't want to come across as rude. Usually I just do it. But it's why?
Yeah.
What's the whole birthday shot thing?
Well, what's the asking? I've got to ask you to buy me a birthday shot?
There was one. I mean, there's a couple times. Once again, don't be sexist, but it's more girls than guys. A girl's come up to me.
Politically correct,
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so 2020, man. I'll get you. But I've had a couple girls come up to me during the Jack's Beach experiences, the excursions, be like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Buy me a shot. Buy me a shot." And I was be like, "It sounds like a you problem." No.
In any other scenario, if someone came up to me and said, "Give me $7 to $10," I would not give it to them.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely wouldn't.
I won't give a dollar. But
you don't have to get on that soapbox.
That actually does shed some some light on it a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
I probably wouldn't either.
No, now.
But if it's a birthday shot, would you do it?
No,
You wouldn't
not
do
if
it.
I don't know them. But here's my thing: if I go out with someone and it's their birthday and they're my friend, they're not paying for a drink that night.
Oh wow!
I make that happen.
Okay.
That's important. You know, you shouldn't have to buy any of your own drinks on your birthday, unless you're like an overserved person who's getting like 20.
Okay.
Maybe we cut the limit at 10, 5 to 10, somewhere in there.
Where were you when it was my birthday a couple years ago? I could have used you.
I didn't get the invite.
That might be the only time whoever gets off the wallet, quite frankly.
It might be,
For sure. I like that though.
It might be.
Brent, birthday shots, you buying them?
No, here's the other thing. As you say that, I've never understood this part about like designating the day that you're going to go get hammered. You know?
Yeah.
Like people plan those days.
It's Friday, Saturday.
It's kind of just happens.
So spur of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like you might say, hey, I'm going to go out. But like there are some people that say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go drink today.
Sure.
Right? I mean, you have those parts, right? You have people say, I'm going to go out and I'm. Now, you got to plan a little bit.
Yeah, you
know,
plan for a driver.
Designated driver, all that stuff.
Yep.
Which you can, but there's a level of that where you probably should plan anyway. And then there's a difference between like throwing everything up all night long in terms of how drunk you got. But
Which, by the way, back to me being cheap, that's a waste of money.
that is a waste.
If you're going to spend all that money on liquor, you can't get sick enough to throw it all up. That's just a complete waste.
Stuart's going to tell you better swallow that. You better swallow that. Or we're going to recycle it. But that's not my money. Yeah.
Recycle it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I've just never understood that.
About like planning ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I am going to get wasted tonight.
That's more like
Like
a
I'm
college
never
kid
under.
thing.
I know. Well, it is more of a college thing, but it's not.
Yeah. See, I'm up. We've been Super Bowl weekend.
Because like that's every weekend.
Well, that's
I say that every Friday.
Yeah. I agree with you, Brent. I'm more like the spur of the moment guy, right? Like where if we get there, we get there. But like, see, if you prime the pump and you say I'm going to get wasted, well then you have to live up those expectations.
You got to deliver,
and then you have to deliver it.
Set the bar high.
If you just go out and say I'm going to get a couple cocktails, and then it's 2:00 in the morning, you're trying to play darts someplace, well then you're good to go.
But it's actually more enjoyable that way.
It's a lot more enjoyable that way.
Feeling
You
good
better
after a
believe it.
Lime scooter ride through a chilly city to play some darts. I mean,
Yeah, what are you talking about?
let it roll, baby.
So you lose.
Yeah, until you lose.
That's right.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Anyway, Stuart Weber up here to talk about
what are you here
being
for,
intoxicated.
Stuart?
Just that. Yeah.
Local
Birthdays.
intoxication expert Stuart
Yep,
Weber.
That's
Yeah.
right.
What are we doing here?
We get a lot of different emails.
Yeah, I bet we
Stuart
do.
sent that one.
I bet we do.
Stuart, what's up in the high school football? They're on the field, man. High school sports is happening.
It's happening. The FHSAA allowing practices to start today, and I kind of put a little emphasis on practices because it looks very similar to what they've been doing the last couple weeks, because for the first 5 days, you can only wear helmets. You know, you can't put the pads on yet. It's a build-up, just like it is in every level of football. You build your way up to the full pads before you get a chance to really get after it. But the helmets are the new addition when it comes to the practices and as they work their way towards the start of the season, which, by the way, is next Friday.
Wow.
Which, you know, it's a big talking point. It's a key point that they decided to say, okay, you can start playing games less than 2 weeks after you start your practices, less than a week after your first padded practice. So first padded practice is Saturday. First possible game is next Friday. I say possible because a lot of our local counties, our bigger counties, have said we're not going to play that week because why would we play after, 6 days after we just started hitting?
Of course,
you
get
know?
acclimated a little bit.
So a lot of the teams in our area, Duval County Public Schools, St. John's, Clay, they're all saying, okay, we're going to wait that extra week and we're going to play on the 11th. That's kind of going to be the opener. So everyone's getting out there and kind of getting back to work now.
Listen, we don't get too critical of high school too much. I wouldn't say. You try to balance that. There's so many good things and cool things, and they don't have parameters in place like so many others, like colleges and NFL. And there's not money on the line, and at least to that level. And so you go a little less in terms of controversy and all that stuff. I do think it's ludicrous. Well, that's a little strong. I think it's a little crazy that you're playing on the 4th. If I was a parent, I'm not sure I'd fully like that. Now, I say that with I don't know exactly what you've been doing for the last few days last few weeks practice-wise. Has it been ramped up pretty good? But just from an outside point of view, saying, hey, we're going to throw the helmets on, and then 5 days later we're going to actually go play a game, in a sport that's already pretty violent and safety comes to mind a lot, it just doesn't sit very well with me.
Well, and one coach I talked to today was like, when I was bringing up the point that, hey, some teams are starting to fourth, he's like, well, some teams have also already been hitting before,
that's
today.
True.
So, it's one of those hard to police kind of things, certainly. And it makes me wonder because we look to the north and we see what Georgia did. And I absolutely love the way they approach this, right? So, sure, they've had a couple counties where they've had their issues, and that's going to affect some schedules up there. But they kept the normal start date for practice. They moved the games back 2 weeks to give an extra 2 weeks for practicing and acclimation and everyone figuring this thing out.
Yep.
But they've been in pads for a month now.
Yeah.
As they get ready to go play games, and their games start on the 4th.
Yeah, so that you just take that, right? And they allowed for more time in case they ran into the COVID stuff.
Correct.
But if you take how long they've been in pads versus some teams that will play in the state of Florida, and I'm not going to name names, but just that will play in the state of Florida and have about 5 or 6 days in pads, at least legally, that's a big difference.
Absolutely.
Look what the ramp up they're doing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Look how long it's taken in the NFL. Look what the college coaches said. 6 to 8 weeks we think, to be able to be acclimated to a game setting. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Wait one more week.
Well, yeah, to me, it's not feasible or it's responsible, right? If we're trying to stretch the health and safety of your players, even in high school, you have to give them time to acclimate. I think it's irresponsible to give them only 6 days. Be like, all right, first day at pads. Oh, by the way, in 6 days we got a game. Like, how do you justify that? Because keep in mind, usually if you have 6 days, like the day before, that's going to be a zero padded practice. That's like a walkthrough the day before.
Yeah, good point.
It's crazy to think about that.
Yeah, I just don't think it makes a lot. There's probably more elements that it makes maybe a bit more sense than I'm giving credence to, but overall it doesn't make a ton of sense.
And one thing
to me.
I think we'll see is some of these teams may have games scheduled for the 4th, but in actuality, they're going to serve like kickoff classics.
True. They might play a half or a quarter.
I was at Providence today. They officially have a game on the 4th, but when I talked to the coach today, he's like, yeah, no, that's going to be a kickoff classic.
That makes sense. It's like a scrimmage.
It's like a scrimmage, and that's a good way to kind of to wean your guys into it.
Yep.
And here's another thing to keep in mind. The results don't matter nearly as much as they have in the past.
Good point.
Because if you want to be in the postseason, all you have to do is say, yes, I want to be in the postseason.
Yeah.
That's part of this rule that they did because they know so many teams in South Florida are not going to be able to play. So many teams in these different pockets around the state, they're just not in a spot where they're able to play right now. So part of this new legislation rule that they went with was any team that wants to be in the postseason, we're going to make it happen. We might have to add some play-in rounds, but you're going to get those extra games, and we're going to make everyone have that chance. So you could go play a murderer's row schedule. You could go 0-8 in your 8 games available and say, yeah, we want to be in the playoffs, and then off you go, and you had that chance to kind of prove it against maybe the teams that you should be playing.
You thought everything else was everybody gets a trophy. Now it really is in the playoffs.
Truly
Everybody gets in.
Playoffs.
Now that this makes sense, actually. And therefore, it's also, there's no reason to hurry up and sneak a game in my opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly
Because they've left the window to play 10 games. Even if you get kicked out of the playoffs in the first round, you can play all the way through December 12th. So they've basically given, I don't know what the calendar speaks to exactly, but maybe 12 or 13 weeks to play a 10-game schedule. So it's really not a rush to get this game in on the 4th. As well. But we'll see what happens. Hey, the good thing is, the beauty of it is high school football started up today. High school fall sports started up today for so many kids in schools. And hopefully it goes well.
Saw the swim team out at Sandalwood getting their work in. They were ready to rock.
Beats an early morning practice.
Yeah, it does. There's no doubt about that.
So, all right. Well, we're a couple weeks away from the Blitz. The Blitz is almost on.
Yeah, that we're starting on the 4th. So
we
don't get a ramp up period either.
But we don't wear helmets on the show, and we usually don't hit each other.
Yes.
Usually don't. But yeah, no, we're looking forward to the season, and like you said, figuring out how the season's going to work. I know we're the last thing on their minds right now. The media.
We
They're
don't
worried
know
about fans and the players.
I checked today, and I think people are asking about that. And I've heard a recommendation is for 30% capacity. But we're not sure what it's going to be. And we're not sure if we can be in there or not. I assume we'll be able to be in there, but we don't know. There's a lot we still don't know when it comes to high school football. Quite frankly, there's a lot we still don't know in terms of game day. in the NFL.
Yep.
We don't know how they're handling a lot of those procedures, so it's going to be a fascinating fall. We got the Blitz coming up in a couple of Fridays. Tonight we have First and 10 training camp, 11:15 on CBS 47, Fox 30. Stuart Weber will have more from Sandalwood and Providence, who we stopped by
the Kobe Cone
earlier today. Stayed in the Cone. The Cone is like less than 10 miles from the station, and Weber delivered.
Love that.
He did not use a lot of gas mileage today.
The COVID Cone, I like it, man.
When we come back, we'll revisit CJ Henderson against Keelan Cole, making my Twitter go crazy. And y'all might be nuts on it. Right. Taking 2 plays and getting a little carried away.
Welcome to 2020, Brent.
We'll have that in Kobe Bryant Day today. Some cool tributes around all of sports. It's next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue with gusty winds into this evening. Partly cloudy overnight and in the 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where for a limited time, you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing. You've been waiting for a new ride, right? Just waiting for the right sale. Well, the time has come because every quality pre-owned car, truck, SUV, and van has been marked way down for you to drive it home today when you buy from Arlington Toyota. You got to check out Arlington with over 750 new and quality pre-owned on the lot every day, just waiting for you to drive home. Domestics, luxury vehicles, imports, and Toyota certified pre-owned. It's all priced low and ready to go at Arlington Toyota. If you're worried about your credit, well, don't be, because with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And when it comes to total peace of mind, Arlington's got you covered with their 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. So what are you waiting for? All pre-owned is on sale now at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Men, are the effects of hypertension, diabetes, or prostate cancer preventing you from having a satisfying love life? In just one visit, the doctors at Prime Men's Medical Center can help you overcome ED or PE to regain your confidence and have you last longer in the bedroom. Name brand pills don't work for many men and can have serious side effects. The highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center provide custom blended medications that are safe, effective, and work immediately, regardless of your medical history or age. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. So, if you have problems in the bedroom, call now for a private consultation. One call, one visit, one simple solution to regain your love life. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Home Builders Institute is a national leader for career training in the building industry and provides students the skills and experience they need for successful careers. HBI training programs are taught in local communities across the country to youth, veterans, displaced workers, and other underserved populations. These programs do more than just provide job skills. They also build character and self-esteem, helping to provide students with the skills they need to succeed on the job and in life. Learn more at hbi.org.
This is Pastor Abraham Lincoln Washington, and it's time for the truth. Just because they said it about you doesn't mean it's true. But if you believe it yourself, then it was always you. You can't allow people to define you. You have the final say. So say what you really know about you, and it'll happen. This has been Pastor Abraham Lincoln Washington, and the truth will make you free.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pets' changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
I never knew my home would become my workplace. I never dreamed it would be my child's school. And I never imagined my home would be under attack from an invisible enemy called COVID-19. This is why I trust SafeTouch Security. It's one app that puts me in control. My SafeTouch system allows me to control who's on my property, movement while the kids are at home learning their school lessons, who I speak with without even opening the front door, as well as home deliveries, my heating and air conditioning, door locks, and complete protection against the threats of fire, burglary, and assault. You know, you can even have control over your car. Know you are safe with the most up-to-date security system from SafeTouch. SafeTouch Security has been doing what others can't for over 35 years. Reliable local monitoring. No other company comes close to SafeTouch's track record on guaranteed response times. Go to safetouch.com and find out how you can get zero down and free equipment with a lifetime warranty. That's safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, 0 interest on anything and everything starting September 1st. At Diamonds Direct. On approved credit. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Boating with friends and family is enjoyable and the ultimate in safe social distancing. Yamaha Marine Center in Orange Park on Wells Road has one of the best lineups of premium boat brands, including Pursuit and Regulator, and the best-selling boats in Florida, Key West Boats. Visit YamahaMarineJacks.com to find your boat today. Yamaha Marine Center provides award-winning customer service before and after the sale. Let them help you find the right boat for your adventures. Yamaha Marine Center on Wells Road in Orange Park. Visit YamahaMarineJacks.com.
Say hello to your new secret advertising weapon, your own branded mobile phone number. StarStar Mobile provisions vanity mobile numbers prefixed by StarStar, providing audiences an easy way to reach your business. Give it a try now by dialing StarStar Mobile from your mobile phone. That's StarStar Mobile. When prospective customers see your offline or online ad and they dial your branded StarStar Mobile number, StarStar Mobile helps to convert them through text, voice, and online communications. Give it a try now by dialing StarStar Mobile from your mobile phone. That's StarStar Mobile.
The current coronavirus outbreak has caused difficulties for many of our area's small businesses. From losing customers to falling behind in payments, business owners need help. At SCORE, our highly trained counselors are here to help. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. We are currently mentoring virtually and identifying possible financial assistance through the SBA and other resources. Visit jacksonville.score.org for links with more information.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. All you got to do is say Amazon Echo, Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy that succulent sports coverage.
Austin Lane.
And Tony Khan clap back. There you go, Kuz. There's your clap back for you.
Clapped.
So,
it's a gamer thing.
Eric Clapton. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good gamer name.
Oh, I'm using that tonight.
Gamer names.
Check your boy, I'm Eric Clapton.
Oh, that's so good.
Brent Martineau.
Yeah. You guys just had a moment.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
We can't win football games if we don't stop the run, and as we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure that we can get that covered. I say this: my responsibility, whoever I put on that field, I have complete confidence that they can do it. You know, and do I feel confident going out and playing football with the group we have right now? I do. I really do.
Do you?
I mean, that's coach speak, right? That's coaching 101. You got to pervade confidence. You don't do that.
people are going to start panicking.
I was thinking this today. I got a little sunshine and rainbows in me because
when don't you?
Yeah, most of the time I do.
You had Skittles?
Lucky Charms.
Taste the rainbow.
But most of the time, most of this weekend we talked about 17 and 20 in the offense. And so the more I looked at it, I'm like, okay, it's crystal clear. We think the offense is probably better, even if it might not statistically end up better. We think their special teams is good. Like, not many people are going to argue with that, right? Like their special teams.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, is it fair to say you like 2 out of the 3 units on their team?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I understand there's a difference between being. Listen, that there's a big. You got to remember now, the Jags are projected to be a 2-14, 3-13 team by many.
Sure.
By many. That's not just like 3 or 4 people. That is by many. Mm-hmm. And I understand there's also this huge difference between being the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Chiefs and a Super Bowl contender. Mm-hmm. I get it. But for a team that has this low of expectations, one that we've talked about for a lot, saying maybe the lowest expectations in franchise history. Yet you're okay. Well, I mean, you might be okay with 2 out of the 3 units. And the one unit it might be pretty bad. I get it.
Let's pump the brakes real quick, though. So you're saying they're going to be a good special teams unit because they have a good field goal kicker and a good punter?
Well, they had good special teams last year. They've got one of the best special teams coordinators in the league.
You also lost a special teams captain, though.
They did.
Okay.
But they had like the best kicker in the league last year.
Sure.
And the punter was very good.
Sure.
So, I mean, they had good special teams. I just don't. I would say most people would say, yeah, I like their special teams.
Okay, and listen, and I get.
And I'm also not saying special teams is going to win you 8 games. But
I mean, coaches will say it's 1/3 of football. Well, is it really 1/3 of football?
No, I don't believe that.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, I think Jordy Camillus is one of the best special teams coaches in the entire NFL. Okay, and I think yes, Josh Lambo and Logan Cook, very good at what they do. Now, is that going to be the part that puts them over from maybe a 4-win season to an 8-win season? Well, absolutely not. I don't think so. Their offense, yes, I do like what their offense is bringing to the table. Yes, their defense is questionable. So if you're going to sit here and say, well, you like 2 of the 3 things, should they be good? Yeah, maybe, but it depends how bad that defense is. You know, like, I'll say this till the cows come home. The offense and the defense, they have to work together. All right? If you have a good offense, then you should probably have a good defense as well. If your defense can shut the run down, and your defense can stop people, then your offense is going to be better. They coincide. They have to coexist together. If you don't have that, unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs who have this high-powered Uber-style offense, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. I was just thinking of it. I'm like, for a team that has such low expectation, and they're kind of like, I'm okay with that. Those guys on special teams. I'm okay with those guys on offense. Again, they're not. I believe, I mean, we're writing, talking, saying on TV, this might be the most fun offense they've had in like a decade.
Sure.
For a team that might win 2 games. Like, to me, it just doesn't add up. I mean, where are we wrong? Are we wrong on the 2 games, or are we wrong that, hey, moron, it's really not going to be that fun of an offense. And even if it's a little fun, it's not going to be good. Yeah. You know? So that's what I was thinking of a little bit today. And again, the defense, you know, my opinion on the defense is run defense will not, it almost couldn't be worse than last year. Yeah. Now, they might say, oh, yeah, hold my beer, but it just doesn't seem like it statistically could be as much of an eyesore, even though they don't have near the amount of talent on paper.
Let's look at it like this, though. How many games did the Buccaneers win last year?
Did they win 7 or 9? I want to say it was 7 or 9.
I think it was
7.
7, right?
Yeah, so they wouldn't have won 9 because all the picks by Winston, they didn't make the playoffs, I don't believe.
So the Buccaneers last year won 7 games, okay? They had the number 3 offense in the entire NFL, all right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many games did the Falcons win last year?
Shoot, they might only win like 6.
The Falcons won 7 games last year, and they had the number 5 ranked offense in the entire NFL.
Interesting.
Okay. So,
yeah. And I don't even think the Jags are going to have that. I mean, I'm thinking the Jags might have the 12th. Well, that's a good point. Fair point.
Dallas Cowboys are the number 1 offense in the entire NFL.
That's a crappy point.
How do they go?
I don't feel as good anymore.
Good. Now I'm feeling like the guy from The Last Dance, the guy with the perm, where he goes like this when he was betting Michael Jordan. He's like, yeah, listen, man, I don't want to rain your parade a little bit, but.
That's a great example.
No,
I mean, so Dallas.
Baltimore was number 2.
And then 3 was
Tampa Bay.
Tampa, and then 5. Boy, Tampa was 3 offensively.
Well, keep in
and
mind.
And now they have Brady.
Yeah.
Yep. They statistically might not be as good. They won't have 30 interceptions.
Kansas City was number 6. Rams were number 7.
Yeah. Interesting.
But now keep in mind, Kansas City, though, they had Patrick Mahomes out for a couple games.
Yeah,
so
true.
That's
Statistics can be a little misleading, I guess.
Well,
hey, here's the latest.
So can you, Brent.
Oh, no, I'm just saying they can. I can be misleading, too. You're right.
We all can be sometimes.
How misleading was Michael Lombardi last week when it comes to Yannick Ngakoue? And over the weekend, I think
2 days? Was it 2 days, Brent? Is that what he said? 2 days he'll be out of here?
Yes.
Once again, hey.
Yeah, a lot
Michael
of
Jordan thing, shrugging.
A lot of shrugging of the last dance. Where is that? That's got to be a
That's got to be a
somewhere.
meme. Yeah, gift, meme,
it
something.
is.
Yeah. 2 days, though. Okay.
So he writes this actually a couple days ago now on The Athletic, so this was actually old. But I just want to read this one part. He says, because he really takes umbrage with Caldwell, what he said to SiriusXM, where Caldwell kind of ripped him.
Yeah.
And definitely ripped him.
Yep.
Quietly. Didn't call him out by name.
Passive-aggressive ripping.
But it was nice. It was actually kind of fun.
I'm all for it, man. With a little salt, I like that.
So, but Lombardi says, I tweeted out the information, which caused some problems down in Jacksonville. Dave Caldwell started to accuse other teams of leaking information to me. He was apparently not happy about my tweet and has since told SiriusXM Radio that nothing involving Ngakoue was imminent, which is simply not true. Why would Caldwell get mad about a tweet? The whole NFL knows he's in the process of moving his best player. It's not a state secret. Why would Caldwell care about anything other than getting the best deal possible? We all know something must happen soon with Ngakoue. Time is of the essence. Ngakoue is not playing unless he gets traded and knows whatever money he might lose missing a game check will be returned to him once he signs his new deal.
Why is time of the... Okay.
Here is the reality. A trade will happen. Maybe not today, but it will happen soon. Well, that's a little, ambiguous at best because up about 3 lines earlier, he said, it's simply not true that an Ngakoue deal isn't imminent. And then he says, whether it will happen soon, or a trade will happen, maybe not today, but it will happen soon. Well, soon and imminent are two different things. Imminent's like right next.
You said 2 days, Michael. Where are we at right now? Look, listen, I can see this happening. It's going to be 2021. He gets traded. Michael Barr's going to be like, told you. Hey, told you guys. You guys don't want to listen to me. 2021, here we are. Got traded. Come on, man.
I don't understand. Lombardi used to work in front offices, too, and he says Ngakoue is not playing unless he gets traded, which I still don't believe that's true. And he knows whatever money he might lose missing a game check will be returned to him once he signs his new deal. No, you don't go back and make up money. If he plays half the season, you don't necessarily make up money. You can make the case that Ngakoue lost $16, $17 million last year by not signing the deal then. If he only plays half the season this year and he gets $8 or $9 million, they're not going to go give him a $9 million bonus.
I know.
I mean, he's going to make a lot of money, but you don't make up that money, which is the way he kind of says it.
Well, and also, hey, Brent, where's the fire right now? What is the rush?
That's it.
We've been talking about this. He's saying time is of the essence. What essence? What am I missing right now where the Jacksonville Jaguars have to trade him ASAP because if they don't, it's going to look bad on them? They have the upper hand right now. Okay? And why wouldn't you wait to get the max deal for Yannick Ngakoue? Why wouldn't you wait to get the draft capital that you're looking for? And you only get that when you be patient. When teams that are on the fringe of making the playoffs maybe endure an injury or a positive COVID-19 test or are just one piece away from going to the playoffs. That's when you pull the trigger. Not right now when we're in training camp. I don't get the time of the essence thing.
Yeah, here he says, but here's the thing. Ngakoue is not bluffing. He will not report until the 10th game of the season to get his accreditation. Okay, so he might still play for the Jags then if he comes in the 10th game of the year, allowing him to become a free agent next season. Caldwell's dealing with a player not motivated by money right now, which means he's not anxious or panicking. Ngakoue is motivated by a change of scenery, escaping Jacksonville. He also refers to Jalen Ramsey in Hard Knocks. There's one thing in common with Lombardi and Jalen Ramsey, and maybe even Ngakoue, although I think it's more with Ramsey, is that they hate Jacksonville. Lombardi has this beef with Jacksonville, which is a weird beef, but it's apparent. I've been saying that for a week now. But if you go back and look at the stuff from Lombardi over the years, he clearly has a beef with them. We'll see. I still think Yannick Ngakoue, if he's not traded by the season, is playing.
Yeah,
I believe it. Mm-hmm. And $1.2 million a game. Yeah. And come play, go get your season, be a free agent next year. Or what I've said really all the way back since March is your best chance to get traded again is at the deadline. Come in here, play, collect money. If you will, you can even make it look like you're stealing money from the Jags because they have to pay you $1.2 million. And then when the trade deadline comes, they lose all leverage if they don't trade you by the deadline. They're not going to get anything in return for you unless they tag you again at a higher price and have to deal with this again. So come in here and play, collect money from the Cons and from Jacksonville, maybe make your stock go up even more, but who cares if it even doesn't? And then you get traded at the deadline.
Yeah.
And then by then they might get desperate and have to just take a second-round pick because the leverage is now on Jan's side and the team's side, not the Jags side.
True.
So I think Lombardi's got this thing all wrong, but whatever.
Hey, lowercase k.
Real quick, Kobe Bryant Day in California, pretty cool. The Dodgers, did you see it last night? They had Kobe Bryant jerseys pregame on his 42nd birthday. So the Kobe Bryant tributes continue. Brett Brown fired the 76ers. I'm sure the Live Local Loud guys will have that coming up at 6 o'clock right here on ESPN 690.
Earl Thomas, any chance he becomes a Jacksonville Jaguar? Brent Martineau, what do you got?
I mean, no way, man. I mean, how would that make sense? Has Earl Thomas gone off the deep end? Is Earl Thomas any different than Telvin Smith right now? Like, while we're wondering, are you okay, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, look what's happened. I mean, the best thing that's happened to him in the last couple of years is him flipping off Seattle.
Yeah.
On his way out when he was hurt. He since has had that incident in the offseason with his brother and several others.
Yeah.
And now this.
Listen.
Like, they didn't want him in Baltimore, man. The players said, get him out of here.
Listen, I still think he's got a lot of talent to offer, and we got to ask ourselves, does the talent outweigh the means in this situation? Absolutely not, because think about where he came from right now. Earl Thomas, Ward is welcome in Seattle. A culture that's always cultivated their defensive players. Hiwara is welcome in Baltimore. Another great culture spot, another great well-coached spot. You think he's going to last here in Jacksonville with the youngest team in the NFL?
Just doesn't make sense.
Absolutely not. It does not make sense. He still might have some gas left in the tank, but I don't want that car right now.
Sounds like Dallas is willing to take a risk. We'll see if it happens there. They've got, I mean, that's a team. That's a roster that's starting to look like the lame Misfits. I mean, in a way. I mean, we'll see.
Those old school Cowboys, Brent.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Work back then.
Work back then. Those 90s Cowboys.
Hey, we'll see on TV tonight, CBS 47 and Fox 30. We'll have First and 10 training camp at 11:15 on those stations, so make sure you check that out. And coming up next, live, local, loud, some NBA talk and more. Jacksonville only hour from 6 to 7 p.m. with Nicky Football and Jerry Daniels. It's on the way. Thanks for hanging with us on ESPN 690. Have a good night.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane of Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed. If I want to be taken out by a hurricane, I want to be